This is exactly what I wanted. This is everything that I could have asked for
Oh, he's doing the
in
jungling.
game one. Oh yeah,
Look at his
okay.
item.
Blightstone, yeah, absolutely. Blightstone mask, he's got it.
Okay, if you haven't seen this, guys, the Veno jungle is really fast. You will match the pace of the mid lane farm if you are uncontested, which maybe Keeper can mess with him a little bit, but I kind of think it's not worth it. So you get the Orb of Blight because it boosts your damage thanks to your innate, and it also boosts the Plague Ward's damage. Then you have the Sage's Mask because you just need to spam Plague Ward to farm effectively. So you're just going to buy Clarities. We see some cool stuff, which is that you first go to a lane, spam your Plague Wards, and then TP home, and then start jungling, and that way you've contributed a little bit to the lane to hopefully get in a good spot for whoever is being left alone,
Yeah.
which looks like, although Yamson took the Medusa, Fade is going bottom.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it is still maybe the carry tied offlane Medusa, but the players who are most comfortable with those heroes are taking it to those roles.
Maybe they're also trying to 4D chess this and dodge the Chen. I'm not really sure. No one's really seen anybody yet on the map as everybody currently smoked up. Now Phantom Assassin will break the smoke top. Tidehunter knows something's up, so he's going to go back to his side. But all right. We'll see how this is going to go for the Medusa in the offlane. Bignum is here on the Tiny, trying to offensively block. Has a couple little Venomancer wards riding on his back. It's very cute.
Don't get that one in deny. Okay. Yeah, so this is something you can do now because they changed the way where the creeps meet. Although I think Medusa maybe blocked a little, so it ends up still in front of the tower. But this is the recent map change where the tower moved up a little bit and the creeps meet closer to the tower, that it's easier to get it under the very first wave under, just like you could in the Radiant safe lane. But I don't know. He blocked too, so it didn't quite happen that way. Now they're creep dragging. Okay. All right, forget all that. Let's go look at speed. He's about to start jungling. Let's go. Take a look at speed. This is where you start. So you're in the river. You're going to farm this camp. You're going to move to the right.
Plague Wards.
You're going to move to the right. You're going to farm that camp. If you keep moving to the right, you can farm the next amphibian camp and then stack the ancient camp at 2 minutes.
So let's see how efficient speed is at this. He's got to do it.
He's moving to the left, work. So maybe he's going for a different jungle route. Because otherwise, I think he should be moving to the right to make that.
Yeah, he should be pulling it to the right.
Now he's channeling too.
Yeah, there's no way he makes it in time.
He's doing a different jungle route then. The evolution of the jungling. He's moving
Unless he wants to stack this double camp here. Because you can stack both of these on the Venomancer. So maybe that's what he's doing. He's going to try and stack the Ancient and the medium camp there. Or he's just going to farm it. I don't know. But Coddle has a ward, so he's actually going to see exactly what this Venomancer is up to. Speed being level 2 does make it scary for Hellscream. If he actually sees him, he could turn around and maybe...
I feel like Speed could just turn around.
Yeah, I mean, Coddle's very fast, though.
True.
Riding around.
He just wants to jungle and not waste his time.
Yeah.
So Coddle is coming to try to steal the XP. How's top going? How's Yamson doing up here? Struggling a little bit, but that is into the Chen like we imagined, just burning off all the mana.
Yeah, and that's where I'm a little bit concerned. Like Chen will just constantly be able to spam out this wave or spam the mana burn. So it's really going to be up to Bignum to make sure that creep dies. But also, I'm not sure if you see Yamsun's ability choices.
WE? So still going the offlane Medusa style, though I see a Midas queued up.
I really hope he just commits to the 044, but he has Midas and Manta queued up, so I'm not a huge believer in that.
We'll see what happens. You know, maybe they're lane swapping because it is still just a good matchup into PA, we said, but then, you know, Chen kind of changed that.
He's so close. Almost gets the Jingu stack in mid lane against the Opage there. He's doing a great job on the Monkey King, for the most part.
True, and Coddle's not doing too bad of a job slowing down Speed. Speed keeps moving around, but so does Keeper. And you just have two tanky boys in that bottom lane, tied versus Mars, trading farm.
He need like Hellscream actually, if he just rushes boots, which is exactly what he's gonna do. It's like he just should just rush boots and follow Speed around the jungle because what else? Like Speed can't kill him once he has boots. He's just too fast. He would need level 3 and have to commit a point in Gale, which you absolutely cannot afford to do.
I feel like if he had done the route towards the ancient camp, it would have been harder for Keeper to join because
100%.
There's that tower that's in the way, and if you walk through the tide, Gush would allow enough of a slow for Veno to then do a lot of damage.
That and he wouldn't have walked right into the enemy ward, right? Like that was the other big issue. He walked right into Keeper of the Light's ward, and he's able to just follow him around the jungle from there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not like you know where the ward is, but... He is still the richest support, as we would expect. It's just not as fast as Jungle Veno would ideally like to be. But I mean, it's not like the enemy team's going to let you do it for free anyway, so we should expect it to not be perfect Jungle Veno efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just I don't have a good read on like, is this good enough? Because we see it so rarely.
Yeah, he's got his boots now on the Coddle, so he's gonna do what he can. But yeah, top lane, they do have a Mango as well to fall on, and that creep, it needs to die. They will get it. Okay, so no more mana burns for now. But Hellscream's looking for the Monkey King potentially. All right. I think this is okay for Wildcard with the state of how these lanes are going and the fact that your Veno is also starting to really pull away. Top side, Gorgon's Grasp does connect there onto Yamato. A lot of damage out, but does have a stick of her own to play around. Okay, he is just rushing Midas on Yamsun. I'm not a believer in this build, so we'll see how this ends up paying off. Because I feel like with a Venomancer, you want to play quick, especially from the jungle, because he's going to bypass cores and net worth. And now your game plan is to just go sit back and farm on a Medusa versus a PA, which I don't think you win.
I'm trying to imagine how this is going. I know it's unconventional, and maybe that's why it's pushing them too far out of their comfort zone, but I agree. I think you commit to the offlane Medusa, you push for a 20 to 30 minute win, and I know if you do that build and you don't win at that point, you'll lose, but I think it just makes sense with the draft they have. They clearly have a different read. I think this Midas build will give them more late game potential. And maybe the Jungle Veno is still enough early that they might be able to set themselves up to win. They've got more experience with this draft than we do, so we'll just have to see it play out.
Yeah, I think they're playing for more of like the 35-minute timing as opposed to the 25-minute timing. Bottom lane rolling Thunder out from Yopaj. Should be able to connect. They even dropped the arena from Pakaz here, and Tidehunter, tanky boy, but should die, especially with the rotation in there. From the PA, 7-minute first blood. It took that long. But overall, Shopify off to a great start. Top net worth on all 3 cores here. The Venomancer catching up, but your Medusa is really far behind. The Chen slowed her down quite a bit those first several levels, which makes that matchup that typically favors the Medusa into the PA kind of not great.
Yeah, the first rotation being successful for Yopaj is also really important since he was having a tough time versus RCY's Monkey King. But this is exactly why you can get away with these types of matchups and open yourself up to the Monkey King counterpick, because you just rotate at 6, and as long as you find one successful kill, you're kind of back on track. This is also where moving Tiny to a 4 support, I wonder how that's going to pay off, because it really slows down the blink timing. Even though he's going to go brown boots straight to blink, it's just not that fast. Speed trying to steal some stuff here, but going to be defended. I wonder if he should stay a little closer to be stealing XP. but maybe scared that they're going to roll on him.
I mean, if Faye just rips the Ravage, I feel like they can easily secure a kill, but I think just stealing this Ancient Camp is good enough. And 4 points Anchor Smash, the level 6 Veno, why not?
Ancient stack, successfully
Mid lane.
stolen.
Wukong's command Avalanche toss back into the Boundless. They got Hellscream, and this should secure the tier... Well, no, the TPN from Yopaj, it should be okay. They're looking to chase, but yeah, Veno's just going to delete Skem here. Drops the ult right onto the backline, forces him to TP out, and there it is. The arena rotation from Pakaz catches RCY. Avalanche completely off the mark, and now, well, the numbers are there for Shopify, and they get themselves the 2 big kills.
RCY and Bignum needed to actually retreat towards the triangle because we see the Venomancers got good damage, but they got split up. Maybe they can, I don't know, Pakaz is so tanky, actually.
Yeah, Pakaz is so dead. They have a Ravage, right?
No, they used it. Oh, no, you're right.
No, he still has it. Like, there's, he should, yeah, it's like, if they need it, they got it, but you can't get away from this Venomancer right now. Feeds on the board. He is neck and neck with the Medusa. It's only a matter of time before he's like past Medusa, passes the Tide. That's just what we see from this hero.
I think usually he'd be even more ahead. RCY almost solos Yopaj. He really wants it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's rare for Chen not to be the strongest and highest level support. You almost always win the lane and then do jungling, and we often see the Chens coming out with high impact. That kind of shows the idea behind this Veno jungle. The fact that he's
the big rotation.
The net worth of Chen.
He's gonna drop the Ravage. Wukong's command onto 2. The Veno ult comes off and it's gonna split. Hits Pakaz. He's trying to run the urn. He just finishes it on speed, but that arena will give him just enough space to get away.
It will get this bottom tower, which means the 14-minute Wisdom Rune steal should be opened up for them into the Tormentor at 15. So very happy to take this tower. And their own bottom tower is still pretty healthy. I think it'll be important for Wildcard to defend this at least till 15 minutes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, it is up to Tomato at this point. Like, they really is a lot of weight is going to be on this PA's shoulder to get this Battle Fury, get active in this game, and kill some of these heroes, because at the current rate, Wildcard is going to start to pull ahead, especially when that Diffusal comes out on the Monkey King. It is a Midas Medusa.
I mean, we weren't sure about it. We were a little worried, but he's
max split shot
too.
too.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of farm because space is being made by the Veno jungle and the other heroes just running together. So he's at this top section of the map just to himself.
Yeah. It's gonna pay off for now. It's just the problem is you have this undulation facet, which feels kind of weak as the game goes on. So we'll see how it plays out. Like, I think most of the time carry Medusas would rather have like Venomous Volley or Engorged, right? But undulation mostly for the lane. Maybe that's good enough. Giving a good start to the Medusa is more important.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Could be. Does let you skip boots to speed up some of the other items, so it kind of matches the early plan we thought we would see. I'm wondering when that Medusa is going to join the team. In the past,
I don't think
maybe it's like, yeah. In the past, it was maybe like you finish 3 items and you're good to go. They really don't know what the timing is with this kind of draft. How many items he wants to finish before they start going together.
I think
There
we're
goes
going to be
the
waiting
bottom
for the
tower.
defusal. Yeah, I think we're waiting on the defusal for the Monkey King, and then it's just going to be like maybe Monkey King Tiny looking for kills,
Dire's top
whereas the Venomancer still wants to jungle, finish up his Spirit Vessel. Well, I say that. Potential fight breaking out here. Big Num. Avalanche. Toss. Pulled him right back into the Monkey King. Wukong's command is out. A lot of healing coming in from the Chen, but the Ravage doing some work. The arena locking him down as Yopaj just continuing to roll through these heroes. But RCY survives. They get themselves 2 kills. They want to look for more, but they will decide not to. Overall, a nice win there from Wildcard. I actually thought this Monkey King was in a lot more danger.
Maybe if you were able to get more Illuminates healing up the team, you drag it out into your favor, but Speed just solos Hellscream, forces the TP out, but he actually dies in the fountain to all the dot damage. So another small fight going the way to Wildcard. I think the jungling wasn't as fast as they would have hoped, but they are making use of the net worth that he did get, and they've been winning these small fights to start clawing a small gold lead. The 15 minutes is coming up, so both teams heading over, but Shopify's a little faster on this. I feel like you got to get over there on Wildcard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Take the mid. I don't know. I mean, it's going to give an uncontested Tormentor over to Shopify.
Goes to Skem. I mean, both shards for the supports here are really good. I'm kind of surprised you're not willing to try and contest on Wildcard, but because your Ravage is down, maybe that's just your biggest real team fight contribution.
Maybe. I mean, Arena's down too.
Yeah, or at least it was, yeah.
I don't know. Immediately finds a Golem, so some extra health boosted up. But maybe that's not as big of a deal as usual, thanks to the Noxious Plague and Spirit Vessel on speed.
So,
Regen Rune.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
when the BKB timings come out on Wildcard, I feel like Shopify are actually in a lot of trouble, right? Like Monkey King's gonna get a BKB for sure, so he can play around the arena a little bit better. Your Venomancer, I guess he has Spirit Vessel, right? He's going back for a pipe, or what's his next item?
He got a Ghost Scepter, and then he's queued up the Solar Crest.
Okay, I mean it's a good Ghost Scepter game.
Yeah, I think if you're... We were imagining this offlane Medusa that pushes really fast.
Radiant's top tower.
Since they didn't go for that, I think it's okay to skip the pipe. Because at some point, you're just getting BKBs, and you can ignore the Coddle. And then the rest of the cores are pretty much all physical damage.
Wow, I really thought they would just jump the Coddle there. Like, RCY with the Diffusal, Medusa close by can just hit the Gorgon's Grasp.
I don't think they have enough vision. They're scared of people behind him. Though RCY is going to scout it out now. Ooh.
No way.
Okay, with that blast, I think you know where he is now, don't you? Oh, it didn't actually hit the creeps. The timing was wrong. Okay, he sees him now. Still, what? Oh, no, he's too
I mean, the
scared.
Medusa left. Yeah, Medusa
Yeah,
left.
he's
And
too scared.
what can you do? I mean,
That's one of those things where you don't have any deep vision down. I think it got dewarded, but the deep vision, even if you don't make the play there, it lets you know when the Pango's jungling, right? And so you're not worried about, oh, I can jump this Coddle, right? People aren't waiting behind him. But without those kind of wards, you could take the risk, but it's really random whether it succeeds or not. So he wants to play it safe. I think they have an idea that they're a little bit ahead based on the last couple fights, but I don't know, maybe not. It's only 5-4, so maybe they don't have a great read on whether their weird jungle strat's working or not.
it's not. Like, just straight up, it's not working anymore. Like, this Chen is... This is what happens. Like, Chen is a super greedy support, and if you don't put pressure the Chen just free farms, and he will farm just as fast as your venomancer. So he's pretty much caught up in terms of net worth this game. Like, yeah, the venomancer's a little bit ahead, but
That's a lot. That's 2,000 ahead.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But like the Chen brings a lot to the fights, and well, there's your arena spear, your
You
really farmed
out.
venomancer. He's trying to get the ultimate off, but he will now. Big ravage from Fade, the blink out, the Rolling Thunder's gonna end. Speed is dead, but there's no one is TPing on Wildcard to this. Fade buying himself a little bit of time, but they scout out Yamsun. They go for the Wukongs. They just
see him in the trees.
Yeah, and now he's dead.
All right, this feels a little reminiscent of last series as well,
Yeah.
where I feel like we see good ideas from Wildcard, but they're just a little bit slower than Shopify in terms of actually executing on these plays.
Oh, Avatos Yamato's got the BKB, though, is going to turn around Stone Gaze from Yanstone to try and chase, but they just pop drums, and, well, Undulation, this is where you struggle. You are not a fast hero.
That fight, they even the gold lead that was slightly in Wildcard's favor. And from here, I do favor the PA in the late game.
Yeah, I do
I think
too.
this early pressure, I mean, looking at it, only the tier 1s are down. It feels like a little bit of a miss on our, I don't know, from our outside perspective, you know, like we're not on the team, the ones practicing the jungle Veno, so maybe they still have an idea for the late game, and maybe that's why this Medusa got a Midas. But I don't know what it is. Yeah, so they'll have to show us what the plan is from here.
It's one of those things that we talked about, we've mentioned, is like you either aim to finish this game at like 25 to 30 minutes with a really fast strategy, or you have to go late game against the PA. And I guess Wildcard didn't trust their ability to end the game at 25 to 30 minutes. So here we go. It's going to be a very long game if this Medusa has any chance of winning.
In the late game, if you can get enough control for the PA, I mean, Medusa can kill the PA. It really just comes down to the supporting cast. Like, are you locking down the Medusa so that she can't really do anything? Or is it the PA who's being killed at the start of the fight? That kind of stuff usually goes PA's way because she's just she's an assassin. She bursts people down. So it's usually easier to find this 1 second opportunity, whereas Medusa's got to do a little bit more before she actually kills someone. But it is not a guaranteed win for Phantom Assassin in the late game. So maybe there's more hope for this than I'm seeing.
Smoke up here on the Coddle. Now he can bring someone into the fight if they want to. The Mars just barely outside of that ward on the top side, but they still might see him. They will see him now. So will they go for it? Dead in the water. Yeah, helps out a lot. Nobody TPing in quite yet. The anchor. I'm just going to let you guys hear. No, I should have stopped talking earlier. My bad.
Here's one TP. Skem comes in. He's got the solar, enough protection. Comes in too. He's got the shard now. So you can bring a lot of teammates quickly to these plays. Another thing that's going to help Shopify as the game goes later. It's going to be a little bit easier to play the map thanks to recall.
We're looking at tormentor fights here. Like, that's where we're kind of at. Phantom Assassin eyeballing the Roche pit, but you don't really have the damage. So Yamato, there's going to be a Ravage. It's dodged. BKB comes out right away. I'm pretty sure the Tide showed on the low ground before he blinked, and so that's really rough. They will smoke up immediately without your Ravage. We're going to see how well this goes. There it is. Huge arena, traps in 3. The breaks come in, and now Wildcard crumbling here. But can they kill the PA? They're trying to heal her through this, but there's just not enough damage. The Dead in the Water about to expire. They're looking to finish off Yovpaj. Yamsun, hold up. Shining here on this Medusa, trying to get Hellscream now as well. A break onto this Monkey King, holding him down for the moment, not getting those Jingu stacks, but the spear comes out and connects. Ghost Scepter will protect speed, but Yamato, he's trying to get out of here. The Venomancer has got him with the Vessel. He's gonna burn. Medusa still standing tall in the backside of the fight, but now they can just walk away.
3-4-3, and your carry lives on Wildcard? I want to say that's a win.
I think it was.
I think it is.
No, it was a 4-for-3. They get the Tiny. Tiny just respawned.
Oh.
So,
yeah, there's a slight gold lead. But I think with the farming Medusa's going to do now, I think that essentially ends up being an even fight.
Yeah, well, they're going to find Tiny here again.
All right, now maybe it's going the way to Shopify Rebellion a little bit more handily now.
If they could have turned that team fight into something like the Tormentor, then maybe, but it just hasn't respawned yet, so it kind of just ends up being a fight, so we can kind of gauge the power level of some of these heroes. And the Medusa, I mean, she stood strong for a long time. We're seeing her kind of find her way in this game. With that butterfly being finished, makes it really difficult for the PA to actually burst her. But if she can pick up like an MKB, we'll see how the next fight would go. But Medusa level 19, really strong now, 2,000 gold ahead of this PA now.
It's really funny to watch PA and Medusa try to hit each other. There's a butterfly and Medusa, and then PA has the evasion, so they're both just missing. And eventually they ignore each other and try to deal with everyone else. There was no Ravage in that fight, which could have made a big difference, but PA not having her BKB either really prevented her from doing very much. She just got hit with the Dead in the Water, and she managed to get far enough to not take too much damage, but couldn't get in to do any damage in return. That's kind of why that fight ends up so even. Let's see if they can find a better fight now looking around.
They see Yamato here smoked up. The question is, do you just go for the Blink Ravage again? Right now, it doesn't look like your team is nowhere nearby. Haste Rune going to be picked up. As they're trying to just start the Roshan, it gets scanned immediately. So will Shopify decide to contest?
Second Roche, or first Roche is worth more than the second Tormentor. And they made a smoke play up here, so they know no one's here. Everyone has to come in slowly. I actually kind of think Hellscream should have come first, because you can just recall people in. Because they took some time on this, it's too late.
Blinks in, Spear Arena, he traps down the Medusa. The BKB comes out, and Yamato snatches it. He snatches the Aegis. Now Stone Gaze is there. He did commit BKB. He's gonna need help to get out of this, and a huge Rolling Thunder just deleting these heroes. There's your Ravager. Medusa's got no mana left in the tank, and good night. Wildcard losing so much here, but can the respawn of the PA do it? RCY trying to TP out. It's not gonna happen. Too slow on the Roche attempt, and no vision scouting Shopify here. Gives Pakaz a free run at this Roshan. That is a full team wipe for nothing.
I was wrong. Shopify had it down to a science. They're like, we're not too late. We're literally there at the last possible second to snatch the Aegis. If you can get it on the Medusa, I think that fight looks different. But the fact that Yamato managed to grab it, I don't know. That's actually, now that I think on it, Wildcard saw that no one on Shopify was there, but they still only had, I think, some of the heroes hitting Roche. If you commit even just one more hero to it, you do it faster and get out. But they were really trying to scout Shopify coming in, and that actually backfired because they didn't have the damage to finish it fast enough.
Yeah, the Tide was like hiding behind a tree to try and pop a smoke, but the second the smoke popped on Pakaz, he just Blink Arena speared. You know, like, he's like, oh, okay, like, I'll start the fight because my smoke just popped and I don't wanna like risk us getting initiated on. And I mean, that's just excellent game call from Pakaz to do that, and we'll see, you know, what they can get done with this enormous gold lead all of a sudden.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They clear up some buildings now. With all that gold, we've got the refresher finished on the Mars, so that's going to be huge for their team fights. I think Nullifier is about to be done on the Phantom Assassin. Those seem to be the big pickups after that fight.
Avalanche, toss, trying to mess with Yopaj. He gets the Rolling Thunder out of him. You're not surviving this. Okay, he's just dead. They're looking for the Monkey King, but RCY actually forced to BKB or his tree break might have killed him.
That's one arena down, but you still have the refresher if you really need to use it.
Yeah. You can like play around a Blink Spear like BKB and then refresh into another arena spear, right? So like even though you've popped the arena, you still have a lot of stun to play around.
This is where things get tough. I mean, obviously when you're this far behind, but due to the recall, Shopify can play the map much more efficiently. They have the gem, so they're going through, clearing out wards. Yeah, that recall.
Yep, there's the arena. He's just dead. Your Stone Gaze helps for a moment, but the moment that mana pool is gone, it's over. And just like that, 70 seconds without your Medusa. Fade now caught outside the base without mana. Avalanche will buy him a moment of space, but hold back from the Coddle. Does have buyback and a Ravage. It is all up to RCY to do the damage here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He's just trying to creep cut, drag this out. Don't think it's going to be enough. There's the Fortify.
Are scanning.
Oh, the Nullifier out from Yamato. Trying to finish off speed. Just needs one more attack, and he's got him.
Nothing stopping him. Chen army
This is-
working on the top barracks while everyone else gets the mid barracks.
This is so reminiscent of Game 2 from last night. Like, it really is.
That's true,
It's the
yeah.
exact same thing that happened. Shopify took,
It
like, one
really-
good fight, built a 20k lead, and then ended the game within 3 minutes. Like, that is exactly where we are. They do get 2 lanes of barracks. They will go bottom, play it safe, look for the mega creeps.
I feel like this is what we expected, that Shopify's late game looked stronger. And I thought,
Yeah.
okay, maybe Wildcard has a different read, and, you know, maybe they're more knowledgeable about this, you know, Veno jungle strat. But, you know, I mean, we're still here. We're still at the point where I don't know how you win this late game. Maybe you get a Chen kill.
And that's helpful, but
They're still
Arena
willing to
Spear
fight.
has caught the Medusa. She is alone. Gonna have to pop the Stone Gaze, but you can't get out of the arena yet. Yamato will just BKB stand his ground. And Yamsun's mana pool is dwindling. Fade out with a Ravage will hold the Phantom Assassin back. A nice Boundless Strike as well. Can they actually get away from this PA is the question. She's getting kited out, and Yamsun, the mana is so damn low. Can they get them? Who's gonna die first? It will be the PA. Yamsun now chased down from Yopaj. Big God's Rebuke comes in from Pakaz. Spears are into the trees, and they will finally find the kill here onto Yamsun.
Will they?
Maybe toss to safety. Hold up, Yopaj, swashbuckle off the mark. He gets out. What is happening?
Because actually TP's out. That
Radiant's
doesn't take down the
middle tower is under
fountain.
attack.
All right, Shopify felt strong enough to fight there even after the Chen died, but Chen has a lot of the auras. I know his summons were still there, so you get some, but Solar Crest, Boots of Bearing, and Vlad's make a huge difference in the fight. We see it matter there, right? It's so close where all the heroes are about to die, and if you just had some of those Chen auras, you would have won that fight, but I think Shopify Rebellion overestimated how strong they were to take that dive under the tier 2.
This is where you need to invest in an MKB on the Phantom Assassin. Like, she had a Divine Rapier queued up, but I think you need True Strike for the Medusa at this point, like because you need to just commit and kill her. And she missed way too many attacks. Like legitimately, Yamsun dies there if she doesn't miss like 4 or 5 times in that fight. So we'll see what Yamato wants to do. There's going to be an MKB being completed already on the Monkey King, the next one for the Medusa. So PA, that evasion is not going to be as useful.
Despite getting such a big win, it is still a 15k lead for Shopify.
Yeah.
I still favor them going forward, but you can't be making those kind of overestimations. I feel like you just wait for everyone to be together and you win those fights, as you have the last couple times.
Well, they find speed. Oh, that's a Will-O-Wisp for Hellscream. That's a great tool for the Medusa. You can't slow her, but the Will-O-Wisp will definitely hold her in place. That's kind of an interesting idea.
At least with Split Shot, though, you're still doing damage to the heroes around. So I'm not sure.
True.
I guess we'll see it in a fight, how useful it actually ends up being. I think it's good versus Monkey King, though, isn't it? Like, you can... If you think he's in trees, you can just drop it. I think it still grabs him.
Yeah, it pulls him off the trees for sure.
Makaz finds Tiny in the bottom lane. Ghost Scepter, TP out? No way. Does this work?
Oh, really timing that Ghost Scepter.
Immediate recall top, looking for more.
Yeah, do they actually see the Monkey King in the trees?
They know he's here. They were looking in the wrong tree line, though. He's actually on the top half. RCY's out of here.
All right. But they do manage to take the Wisdom Shrine. So PA gets level 25. It's a big deal.
Right, that's the MKB. So Medusa should now be able to kill the PA, whereas PA might still struggle a little.
Oh god. Chill.
Man, how different would this
Roshan
game
having a little
look
fun there.
if Wildcard had finished that second Roche and then just gotten out? Or the first Roche, sorry. It was just a late first Roche.
Yeah.
Could be at a completely different pace.
Even if the fight goes the same way, but Dusa gets the Aegis instead of PA, totally different fight. Totally different game entirely. Like, the Medusa may die twice, but when she comes back, she's killing some heroes. Yamato. Blurred.
On his own.
Does have the Aegis, but they should have the What? Boundless Strike off the mark. Nice Gorgon's Grasp, but an Arena's just going to trap down the Tiny, and Yamato back up to near full HP. Does get caught here from this venomous... Oh, okay, great Arena Spear from Makaz. The refresh is there. Ravage to try and find him. A moment of time here from Yamsun. He's got that Stone Gaze running, but do they have the damage to get Yamato? They do. The MKB from RCY is doing work, and the buyback from the Veno has paid off. Can they kill the PA a second time? She's got a BKB. Nullifier out onto speed. Gets the kill. Yopaj jumping in, trying to burn the mana of this Medusa. Nice Boundless Strike. Gets to the other side. Locks down Yopaj. They get the kill, but there's the Will-O-Wisp. It's up to the Phantom Assassin. Can she do it? Buybacks coming in from the Monkey King. Maybe. Time to leave. Yamsun's out of mana. Hold up. They've got him right where he wants him. The mana burn from the creep actually doing so much work. Getting a little bit of help there. But they can't get away from this PA. Monkey King will Boundless Strike so she can TP home. But that is 4 buybacks? 3 buybacks out of Wildcard?
1 from Shopify. So... something going for you, where if you lose this Pango, you probably don't feel good to push, and you buy a lot of time on the side of Wildcard, but at the same time, Shopify, any kill now, they're going to feel great about going. And in fact, I think you push fast enough, you take this tier 2, they're still going to be dead on the supports, and you can start poking this tier 3, going for the megas.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, the Poison Nova did not Poison, sorry, Noxious Plague, forgot the name of the spell, did a lot in that last fight, but having to buy back, pretty rough. He's dead for another 20 seconds. They're going to need this Venomancer to get back in the game, but Divine Rapier here on the PA, deletes the Tidehunter with the break, and Yamsun is out of mana once again, has to walk back to the base. Can you get like an Avatos in the Wukong's command and kill this Phantom Assassin? Maybe not with Pakaz on the back line, ready to go. He gets the Arena Spear, takes down the Monkey King. RCY pops the BKB, able to get out. Nice jump away, and Yamsun with this Stone Gaze actually making quite a bit of space, doing a lot of damage, but they can't get their hands on the Phantom Assassin. May just have to settle for Pakaz here on the Mars, but he's got his back against the wall. The Bulwark, reducing a ton of damage. He gets off a second Arena, trapping this Medusa inside, but Shopify, maybe with this Divine Rapier, do not want to risk it. Hold on, Rolling Thunder. Yopaj is in. The mana burns. It's going to start stacking up. The roll up, and there it is. Goodbye. Medusa dead for 90. The GGs come out, and that will do it. Game 1, an exciting and an interesting draft, but doesn't quite pan out for Wildcard. Shopify looking good as ever.
Looks like there might be a glimmer of hope when PA jumped in pretty deep there with the Divine, no Aegis.
They saw last game, they're like, the only reason we lost is because there was a Phantom Assassin. So let's just run back the Medusa carry, and we'll see how it goes this time. We'll see if they're correct on that, though. We are going to see the smoke up here from Shopify. It is game number 2 here in this best of 5 grand finals. For those of you who are just tuning in, Shopify versus Wildcard here, battling out for the 1 spot at DreamLeague Season 26.
Darkness hungers.
Yeah, last
So
game
we're gonna see
Shopify seemed to have a better late game, but I think Wildcards is stronger this time.
Yeah.
They do have some good early game heroes, though. So this might just be like the typical 4 protect 1 type thing where 4 people make space for Medusa. She hits a really strong timing, and then you go with that.
30 seconds to battle.
I'm a little bit curious what they can do here. Sleep from Scam. It actually pulls him up to the high ground. The dagger is out, getting slowed up pretty heavily. Can they finish the job? It's going to be up to Yamato. He gets him on the Quill Spray. It's going to cost him his own life, but first blood for the Bristleback. I think he's okay with that, as they will still just go even on the runes, it looks like. Scream able to grab the top one, trying to run his way down the river.
Did make the mid lane harder, though, with RCY picking up the return kill. Looks like Scam also switched at the last second. I didn't see. So he did take Sleepwalk. Got to be careful with your positioning that you don't get pulled into the wrong spot, like we saw set up the first blood right there.
They buffed that facet recently, didn't they? Like either moves faster or farther. I don't remember which one.
I think it's you move faster, which means you do move farther.
Yeah, which means you move farther. Yeah. A little bit of a miss micro there from Fade. Accidentally gives his courier up to Yamato. And here's why I like the Bane versus the Night Stalker. Night Stalker wants to like kind of drag the wave, but you actually cannot do it against the Bane ever. And he just gets immediate D-ward at the last second. Very nicely done there from Skem.
Fortunately, it's a Kobold camp, which is the worst one he could get. So Bignum is like, oh, well, I guess that's okay. Medusa in her usual lane up here in the typical spot. I don't see a Midas queued up this time.
If I saw a Midas queued up, I would be genuinely upset. So I'm glad we're not seeing a Midas queued up. I don't like being upset.
Thank goodness. Hellscream top takes a lot of damage, caught by the Gorgon's grasp, but he's gonna make it away. I think he had a weighted pie to knock someone off.
Nice. Yeah, who wins in a fight Night Stalker or Bane, and it turns out it's definitely Bane, one of the best base stat heroes and stat growth rate heroes in Dota. Great spells for trading in the lane, and Night Stalker is really struggling to find momentum in this bottom lane. Hellscream, though, top side. Only level 1, getting just chased out of the lane here from speed.
I just noticed how brutal this lane is. These masters only got 4 last hits?
Yeah, they're getting owned. This is why I like the Bristleback movement, right? Like, he's going to win that lane. He could almost 2v1 the lane if he really wanted, but Bane is adding so much pressure onto the Night Stalker.
I think you win this lane, but I don't think you're supposed to win it this hard. I don't know, that's the Bane effect that just haven't seen this hero, so maybe just doing more than I thought. Still seems kind of extreme.
Definitely does seem extreme. They're going to get themselves the Lotus.
Great pickup for a Bristleback. Yamato is going for a Halberd. Now we see this from the offlane Bristlebacks doing Snot Rocket. Oh, getting in trouble.
He's going to be okay.
The Lotus.
Yeah. Exactly. They could. I was going to say, if they actually get the Nightmare there on Fade, Fade might have died. So, good movement from Fade to not get in range of the Bane there. But good damage out onto the Bristle still. I am curious with you as well, like going for this Halberd. Maybe it is just such a strong laning item. It's going to allow him to sustain. But it is
maybe
just
also
generally good having a Halberd versus Medusa.
That's true. And also maybe recognizing, you got this Lycan offlane who, sure, he gets the Overlord, but he really plays like another carry. So
yeah,
you don't need everyone doing right-click physical damage. Someone's got to get some kind of utility. And with the Halberd, Bristleback will be free to play very aggressive, farm where he wants. Maybe he doesn't do as much damage as he usually would, but he'll be very safe doing so.
Really nothing exciting happening in this mid lane. These two are just exchanging spells and punching each other over and over. They're unless someone makes a mistake here, like you get a toss back into the tower, or Yopaj gets body blocked by like a shield crash at the dire side tower. I don't think either of them are gonna die. But we're gonna see the support start rotating in, and here comes Bignum. Crippling Fear comes in. Nice Tame the Beast though from Hellscream. And with Jakiro's rotation, it's gonna be pretty difficult for Yopaj to get back in this fight, but they got what they wanted. They take down the Pango. Shopify will just disengage now.
I want to try to get something out of the last moments of night. It feels like Shopify read that. They felt it coming. I think it was this ward that spotted the Night Stalker moving over. And yeah, they get the kill. No return kill. And now you even have the first day. So Bignum maybe didn't get as much done on this Night Stalker as he would have liked. It is a pretty tough lane to get anything out of it. Wildcard gonna have to be on the back foot until the next daytime. I mean, look at Yamato. He's on his own. He's like, yeah, I got the Vanguard. I don't care. I'm going to the tier 1 versus 2 heroes on my own.
If this guy gets any mana, this lane is over. Like he could just. Yeah, there you go. He's back, baby. I was like, he can walk down either of these two once he has mana, but he'll get the Lotus as well. So you're in trouble. He's going to be so farmed. They just need to start stacking to enable the Bristleback. Anytime you go seeing red on this hero, you need to play for that Aghanim Scepter timing. And I think just getting to like this early Halberd will just allow him to never have to leave the lane. You can't really push the Bristleback out, which enables their Tormentor, typically, if they can get it just at 15 minutes before it moves to the dire side at 5:15. But his Halberd is... No, there's no way it's done, right? There's no way. Is it actually just done? It is done. I think the courier has
very
it.
cheap nowadays. There has been a slight shift in Bristle build. I'll hold that thought.
That is a really nice grab here. They're going to be able to prevent them from getting too much now. The problem is, how do you deal with Yamato standing on there? Okay, they'll just back away. They're going to give it up. Fade has Roar now. Going to throw it here onto Yobaj. Rolling Thunder coming through. Big Tame the Beast, but you don't have any real catch here on Shopify. You've lost 2. They did. I mean, I thought for sure they would just stand inside of the Wisdom Shrine there, but never mind. It's a big win there from Wildcard.
Fade picked up the Ripper's Lash. He's the only one with a neutral. So got some extra damage in on that Tiny. Finished up the kill. I'm with you. I thought they might do more of a dive there, but it is tough to go past the tier 1 like that. So maybe they second guess themselves.
They cannot deal with this bristleback at all.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Where are you watching?
Yeah, this is okay. So that's what I was gonna say. Carry bristles sometimes still get ags, but lately I've seen some just do other items first. Not usually the halberd, but like SNY, shard, things like that, and the ags actually comes later. This game, especially with this halberd first, makes me think, you know, gonna let Pakaz do more of that carry role, and maybe he won't do the ag items. Maybe he'll get some other items first.
Well, Pakaz pops Shapeshift and chews right through the Medusa. Not quite, no points in Stone Gaze yet to keep her alive versus the summons. And you now take 2 towers, and your map is shrinking on the side of Shopify, as Yamato is just taking your triangle. He just has no concern. Yeah, he has just no concern for any other hero on the map. He just like sees Big Gnome and he's like, I got better places to be. I'm gonna go farm some creeps.
Yeah, you would need the Diffusal on Pango to remove all the mana. But then even after that, I don't know, the damage is so slow after you burn all his mana, he might still just walk away with the halberd protecting him.
My goodness, that's a lot of damage out there from these two. Because of the Hurricane pulls them back in. Yopaj, Avalanche, deciding it's not worth the dive, but they are going to get some serious damage here into Big Num.
It's almost nighttime, so it'll get a little stronger. He's really close to 6, so they'll have Dark Ascension too. I think he's going to get it by just absorbing the farm that Yamato is stealing from them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, 10-minute mark is here. You have 2 very fast-paced heroes on the side of Shopify at the top of the net worth. On your way to the Helm of the Overlord for Pakaz, and I mean, depending on what creep you get, you could actually do some serious damage with it. I think right now the Prowler is the one people typically go for because of the minus armor synergy. And just the root, right? It gives you pretty good chase, especially on a support. It's like speed would stand no chance. Nightmare. Pulls Jakiro back. Avalanche, toss, tame the beast. Nowhere to go. Yopaj, the amplified damage there just to secure it. So 3 outer towers down, now a 5,000 gold advantage.
Getting pretty out of hand. You need to find a kill with this Diffusal, Roll, and Roar.
Oh,
and soon,
that was a misclick. But they're going to see the Dark Ascension come out here. They are just running at Yamsun here with the summons. They will finally end up dying. Rolling Thunder coming through as well, trying to get Skem. Hellscream really far out of position. I think eventually Skem should die. The question is, will they actually get the Ringmaster or not? All right. Oh, that would have been a sick play from Hellscream, but not a long enough fear. Okay, so
I was
both
wondering why
supports
he
died.
used the scan right there. He was trying to get the unicycle. Yeah, something going back their way. That actually cuts down the gold lead quite a lot, down to 3K now. Still pretty good for Shopify, but starting to get some of the active heroes online for Wildcard. The defusal almost finished. No way. Sleepwalk.
Nice pickup
Ooh.
there off of the Jakiro. Otherwise, he was absolutely dead. Avalanche was coming up in 1 second. Speaking of Avalanche, toss back as well into a Ringmaster follow-up. Yopaj will slap down the Jakiro one more time. I mean, this Blink Dagger is ready, baby. He's got it off this creep wave. This is a big timing for Shopify.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What did he find for his Overlord? He's got an ancient Granite Golem for now. I think he'll be looking for either the Black Dragon or the Prowler, like you said. But the Golem's not too bad for now. I'd say it's like the third best.
Yeah, I agree. The Granite Golem is better when you're wanting to start pushing objectives, because then your team's just generally a lot tankier. And it is a
Yeah.
hard unit to bring down.
It goes up in value the later the game is.
Yeah, get the roar off. Looking to try and grab this very tanky Bristol. Nightmare puts him to sleep for a second. Nice Avalanche coming through. Macropyre as
tanky,
well.
though.
He's so dang tanky. This Halberd doing work. Yamato, does he survive? Finally, they get the kill, but now it's up to Pakaz. He's going to chase for Fade here, it looks like. We'll try and grab this Beastmaster. The question is, will they get anything else out of it? Nah, it looks like it will just be... Hold up. Beastmaster into the trees. There's no way, right? Okay, he's dead.
Yeah, it's fine, right?
Oh, he
Surely
converted the
not.
boar. That's a Helm of the Overlord boar. That thing is a beast.
That's so funny. They both took each other's summons. Fade took a woof. He took the boar.
Well, that Nightmare will secure himself the 14-minute wisdom. So well done from Skem.
Dire
On the other side, Yamato was already there, so Bignum unable to steal that.
Such a difference in timing from this Helm of the Overlord. The Lycan has had a completely free game, so his is already done and online and helped them win that fight. Whereas Fade's still... Bignum?
He just gets
Crash
crushed.
landing.
So much magic damage, and well, here comes Pakaz. He's gonna get roared. Skem nearby, Wheel of Wonder, trying to hold out and buy him some time, but no. Surrounded, and with the help of the Rolling Thunder, they'll find Skem as well. Nightmare will dodge the initial stun, another Avalanche, but an Ice Path from Speed to guarantee the kill. Great finds there from Wildcard, getting this Lycan. They get the summon as well. And they're going to turn this potentially into a tier 1 mid, or no, they're just going to back away, go back to farming.
Now, this is a call they've done before. And I feel like the mid tower lives quite long in the games they've played versus Shopify, and this happens. I don't know. You don't get the tower here on that particular push, but it would have chipped it down. And I feel like they need a tower to start opening this map. All of them are still up for Shopify.
Have any of them even taken damage? Like maybe bottom has been chipped a little
they've
bit?
chipped a little bit, but really not much. Can you steal Roche?
It is interesting, actually.
Tier 2. They don't have Helm of the Overlord either. They're assuming Shopify is positioning top for the Tormentor, and they're right.
This is way too slow.
They don't know it. Shopify's not even moving over here. They don't suspect this. It's gonna work.
Okay. That's a wild read. I cannot believe that's going to pay off. They get the kill. So Age is probably on to... I mean, typically you'd give it to Beastmaster when he has Ags, but I agree here. I think you give it to the Bango.
Tormentor does go over to Skem. He's got the AoE Brain Sap. Skem's a pretty greedy support player. I think we're going to see a very rich Bane this game.
Yeah. AoE Brain Sap is like the equivalent of CM getting Crystal Clone, right? Like it just amplifies this hero's farm speed. Also makes him really hard to kill in fights if he's hitting like multiple heroes with a Brain Sap or even the illusions from the Medusa. We do see the Prowler though picked up by Pakaz, so he's got his big boy creep. And you were right about Yamato. He's got the Sanjin Yasha, gonna go back for the Shard and then the Aghanim Scepter. Which has really given him a lot of like early game fighting, and I like it a lot, instead of playing super passive.
Yeah, in the past you saw Bristles just AFK farming until the Ags was done, but I mean Yamato's been going ever since he finished the Vanguard like 5 minutes into the game. So it's been a lot of space for Pakaz. I mean, really, the question to me this game is like, who's actually the carry? it's really Yamato getting involved in all these fights and Pakaz, you know, free farming and occasionally joining in. But it's a nice thing when you have. I feel like this is the strength of Pakaz joining the team as the offlaner. Like he does play an actual offlaner sometimes, but when the draft makes sense for it, Tomato has played these active type carries like this Bristleback, and you say like, hey, you know what? You have the free lane. Why don't you play like a carry?
And we've talked a lot about, you know, different builds for the Lycan. He's going to go Crimson Guard here against the Medusa. I mean, there's not much need to be said as to why. It's just a great item. And then you have the ability to go for the Aghanim Scepter, right? Wolfbite's Bristleback, we have seen in the past, like this specific combo is really scary. It is a ton of damage. They will grab this mid tower. They're trying to finish up this creep. They will get it. Another 250 gold there from Yamato. So, big burst of gold there for him after grabbing the tower. I mean, how do you get onto the map for a wild card? What can you do right now, Zach?
What can you do, Ricky? The issue is you don't have any towers. So I would typically say you try to creep cut now and just, you know, send illusions down one lane, Pango's weaving through trees, cutting creeps, then hiding again. But it's really dangerous to do that when all the tier 1s are up because there's multiple points to rotate and catch these type of plays. That's why earlier I felt like they needed to push a tower when they backed. Mid's actually not the best. The side lane towers are better because there's more trees on the side to hide around as you split push. That's what I think they need to do. I think they need to make a move down a side lane, take a tower, and then you leave a couple heroes to just keep trying to creep cut. But it's a little late for that. The Shopify's done a really good job restricting them, and that's why it's so easy now to continue to restrict them because you don't really have to worry about your lanes being cut right now.
How many times have we seen this exact combo? The Avatos, Tiny, into Hellscreams, Tame the Beast. It's so much damage. So
maybe you get a Helm of the Overlord Black Dragon. You can use that to creep cut.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's your best bet. I mean, Bristleback just kills it so easily now, though, is the problem.
At least he's back, right? I mean, that's the thing. You just need to make space and drag this game out. That's why the Aegis Steel, they haven't done anything with it, but it's not Shopify with the Aegis pushing your high ground.
This is it. Ice Fire Bomb. This is how you take towers. They're going for it.
Do it.
They're going to get
It's actually a lot of damage onto this tower.
All right. This is this is like literally their only strategy at the moment. They have to get towers. And so he's got the Ice Fire Bomb as a way to try and cut these things and backdoor them, but with Lycan Howl, not easy.
Fire Bomb. Ice Fire Bomb. Yeah.
He's doing it. He's doing so much. It's so little damage, actually. It's not that much damage.
If they don't deal with the creep, you would eventually get it if you just keep weaving in and out, casting Ice Fire Bomb.
I do really think this is like one of the very few jungle or like neutral abilities that needs to be substantially buffed.
Yeah. I think take the 50%.
He actually gets it.
Change it. It does 25% damage against buildings. I think bump that up to 50%.
100%.
Yeah.
Just do it, you know? What's the problem? Why
Yeah.
not?
200%.
Yeah, I'm with you. It just, how about this? It kills buildings on contact.
Kills
Except the
instantly
throne.
kills a building, but it's got a 10-minute cooldown.
Okay.
Doesn't
Sign
work
me up.
on
I'm
Ancient.
in.
Smoke. Nice Stalker saw this with his Dark Ascension.
Yeah, I mean, they got the blink away, and
still
now they're just going to
working, though?
initiate, get on top of speed. Yopaj still pretty tanky. Nice rolling thunder, though. Macro Pyre's splitting this fight in half. They've taken down Ringmaster. Yopaj, he can't get out. He's just completely stuck, and Yamsun has free reign on the backside of this fight to do whatever he wants. So Shopify are going to lose, too, because Pomps that Crimson Guard, trying to do what he can, but here comes Yamato. You might need to run now. If he can actually stack up the Nasal Goo, they can chase you down, and he's got his eyes set on Fade. He's got a BKB. Yamsun's out of mana as Pakaz on the Lycan will clean up this backside of the fight as well. Skem puts the Night Stalker to sleep. Wakes up from the true nightmare of his whole team being dead.
That initial bait was good. I think you really needed to get out after that because you used all your abilities to kill the Tiny. And I think they thought, hey, we have the numbers advantage. Maybe we can do it. But no, you need your abilities to do enough damage against this Bristleback and Lycan. And because you didn't leave fast enough, now your tier 3 is very quickly melting. This actually is going to be the first lane of barracks because I don't see what pushes you out of here. I guess you respect the respawns, but they won't even have... Oh, actually, they do have Roar. Maybe you get out after this melee barracks.
I mean, you roar him, he gets thrown right inside the box, right? So
that's true.
Or you get Nightmare too, right? Like, there's 2 saves on the side of Shopify behind this Bristleback.
Or you don't save him at all because he's so tanky. You're like, I don't need to help you.
Right, yeah. You just Wheel of
Just
Wonder
bait him in.
instead and kill them all.
Yeah.
So mid lane, melee barracks is dead. 24 minutes into the game and 11,000 gold advantage here for Shopify as they continue to pull further and further ahead. Yopaj nearly has his SNY completed. Not the standard build we see from Tiny, but it works.
Radiant are scanning.
He pings on the Bristle.
Dude, Pakaz almost
Even
has
without
X.
a save behind him. I don't know. Roar and Macropyre, Medusa hitting. I think it's not enough. I think you actually have to have Pango there as well.
Avalanche, Tame the Beast. Free toss, very easy kill. Night Stalker goes down once again. And I was just mentioning, Pakaz nearly has Aghanim Scepter on the Lycan. It is only a couple hundred gold away. And then you have to deal with this Wolf Bite coming out onto either Yopaj or Bristleback. Honestly, you have 2 great targets. It doesn't have to be only one of them. You can pick and choose.
Okay, but could you imagine using it on Hellscream and then he unicycles?
Dire's top tower is under
That would be
attack.
that'd be hype. Oh my god, that tower.
Range barracks getting whittled down by summons, and there's really not much you can do about this. The Ancient comes one more punch from the Golem.
Alright, with the top tower dying, that's gonna give more than enough gold for the Ags, and they will smoke up.
Fake back
Yeah, I think so.
or reel back into Roche. Because I think at this point you've got this game. The only way you lose is if you overextend and row, and then they get the second Roche. I think you just go
they wanna
get the
kill.
second Roche yourself, you're good.
Tower is under attack.
Surely Wolf Bite Tiny or Wolf Bite in general is just too strong. Hey, he gets the transformation off. They've lost the Bane at the beginning here. Because
Trying
trying
to
to get
his
enraged to help and get him out. There's the escape back doing some work. Yamato, Wolf Bite, BKB. He's going to start running for him, but who does he want to actually kill? Fade. That's going to be his target. Yamsun now on the run. This guy is doing so much damage. The evasion, it keeps him alive. But you have 2 big bad wolves that are cleaning up this fight once again. I mean, not a bad fight from Wildcard. If RCY gets out of here, I don't know if he will, though. TP's not going to be in time. Yeah, they get him.
Close.
Nicely done.
I feel like as the original Wolf, Lycan in his ultimate should be larger than who he wolf bites.
I'd be down for that.
I think so. Wild card. It's so tough, man. You just need so much damage to kill these heroes on Shopify.
You have a really
You're not
slim
quite
window during Stone Gaze to get kills. And if Shopify just turns around and walks the other way, like, I don't know how you kill anybody.
Is that 5 bounty runes down there at 27 minutes? That's the state of the game, man. Shopify has just been sitting on wild cards half of the map. For over 15 minutes, they didn't go back to their own half.
There's actually 5 bounties. Wow, that is insane.
Second Roche. Now going the way of Shopify. Wildcard's trying to get in position. It is sort of their last chance to do this. I feel like if Yamato gets an Aegis, you're barely killing him once, let alone twice. So this feels like the final chance you have. Shopify's actually going to respect it. They're going to smoke up. See if they can get a kill to maybe make their lives easier on this Roche attempt. You see the Medusa top, though.
They're just going to run in. Like, Yopaj sees anything. Yep, he's just going to start the fight. Avalanche Toss tries to find Fade, but won't be able to do it. Great Rolling Thunder from RCY. He's able to just take out Hellscream. And once again, Yopaj is in trouble. They go to Wolf Bite him. Is it going to allow him to escape? He does. He's going to be back in just a few moments. The Wolf on the prowl. The Avalanche comes out, stops Fade's TP. They get themselves this Beastmaster surely as... Well, Pango escapes once again. He will have to cut this next wave.
You technically have this outpost advantage when the Roche is down here for the Dire, but it still takes time to teleport in, so I think that's what Wildcard was banking on, having Medusa push top, but then when she needs to...
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, that was close. I mean, that would have been one way to stall out the game a little further. I respect the attempt. You're in this desperate situation. You gotta try.
It was close.
But yeah, by the time Medusa TP's in, the roar is over, you know, and Tiny gets wolf bited and runs out. Wolf bited? Wolf bit. There we go. English. Wolf bit gets out. So, I don't know. If you want to fight that Roche, you gotta TP in first. That's why Shopify just runs in there. They're like, yeah, Medusa's not here. She's not going to join in time to do anything meaningful. And they're spot on.
So you have the Aegis on your Bristleback here. Pakaz with the Prowler, sending it up onto the high ground. Going to start making quick work of these buildings. Oh, these buildings.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't know what we're looking at. There it is, Yamato. Hello? Okay.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
What is the state of being in Wolf Bite? Is it Wolf Bitten?
Wolf mode. That's the state. You're just
All
a
right,
wolf.
Yopaj is Wolf mode.
Yep. Stone Gaze out. Yamsun can't do much of anything. It's just to run away as there are 2 wolves and a hedgehog trying to kill your whole team. And here comes Yopaj. Avalanche toss sends him back. Nice Ghost Scepter to buy him some space. Rolling Thunder does find the back line here, but these Ghost Scepters keeping them alive as well. Big Num trying to hobble away. Gunning through the skies here with the Dark Ascension. The Fiend's Grip caught him. Nice. Macro Pyre from Speed actually gets him out of it, but they still have the damage. 2 buybacks now coming in from Wildcard, looking to turn this around. Great Ice Path once again onto the Disarm, but can you ever kill the Bristleback? Pakaz just TPs out in the center of 5 heroes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that's all they get. They're not going to get the Bristleback or the Tiny. You just get 2 supports for 2 massive buybacks.
Dire's middle tower is under
That's the thing, right? I mean, the chain stuns were even really good on all these melee cores, but You're just too far behind at 30 minutes that your damage. He literally TP'd out in front of 5 heroes, you know?
And he
It's
didn't
like,
even
yeah,
pop Crimson.
they can't kill me in time.
This whole mess is all your fault.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Yeah, Yamson, okay. He's queuing up the Divine. I agree. You need the boost in damage right now. He's not that
It
far
was actually
off. He
pretty close.
could finish it before the end of the game. It depends how hard they want to push with the remainder of this Aegis. There's 2 minutes left. I think you do go back for the Megas. And if you go right now, this Divine Rapier won't even enter the game. But, you know, if they delay a little bit, play it safe, maybe we do see one more major defense with this Divine Rapier.
I feel like you just go in like through your mid creep wave and try and finish off for mega creeps, right? Like it's pretty easy to just commit for the barracks or at least get the fortification. Gem, underward sentry, smoke comes out, gets vision right up onto the high ground. Bristleback just walking in, disarms the Medusa, looking for Fade as well. This Rolling Thunder from RCUI once again doing a lot of work, but Yamato is holding the entire enemy team at bay. How long can he continue to kite them out?
I mean, that's
1
half
minute
his
left on
health.
the Aegis. Yeah, they're just gonna give him a Lotus or something. He made space for an item. I don't know which one it is, but the toss
Wolf
back, they get
mode.
the Stone Gaze. Nicely done. Does he have something on Courier? Oh, it's the Nullifier. Yeah, that makes sense. And now with Stone Gaze down, no Rolling Thunder, it is a free set of barracks here for the side of Shopify. A patient siege.
The last fortify is the Divine. Still 1,000 off. Do you have to sell something for it? Maybe sell your boots?
Sell your soul at this point, bro. I don't know.
Fiend Script on the
That's
Medusa.
a Fiend. They need to cancel it. I'm trying to get close enough, but he gets feared away. And, well, Yamsun goes down 70 seconds. Has the buyback, but, again, you buy back, you're never getting to the Rapier. He's going to do it. No point in saving the buyback for next game. Aegis gets reclaimed, and they will back away.
Even if you wanted to play it ultra safe mode on Shopify, you just throw in the summons and you would chip these buildings down eventually.
Yeah.
So from here, they are in a dominant position. It would be up to Wildcard to make some crazy plays, but I actually think it's probably more on Shopify to make some bad plays to give a chance back to Wildcard. And so far, in all the games we've watched Shopify, I can't even pinpoint a major mistake they've made. You know, like maybe small ones, sure, but I can't imagine them throwing away the lead they have here.
I mean, it just takes one Blink Tiny
Wolf
to end the game
mode.
here. All right, who do you give it to? The Tiny? I'm guessing, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so there it is. The toss back into the Nullifier. That should be a pretty easy kill onto Fade. Yeah, they got him. Roar even reflected, not going to do a whole lot. Now they're trying to take down this Bane on the backside, but the Escape Act plus the Ghost Scepter, like Force, all this stuff, just bailing him out. RCY feared into the taunt, and while Skem doesn't even have to commit the ult, they just wipe him up. That is going to be GG. Game 2 going to Shopify and puts them 1 away from the qualifier. Now that Tidebringer was buffed even more, you get so much damage into this guy. And I don't know if the support matchup is going to change this lane too much, right? You have Ringmaster, who's a super dominant lane hero with a lot of burst damage, against a Chen, which Chen can bring some pressure to the lane, but like the mana burn that we typically see out of like it's the summon convert doesn't really do much against the Kunkka.
You know what I hadn't thought of is Ringmaster Impalement Arts does do 100 DPS to creeps. So maybe that's a way to deal with some of Chen's creeps. Like I think one Impalement Arts kills the Satyr Mindstealer convert.
I legitimately did not know that was a thing. RCY is going to get scouted thanks to the bonus night vision here from Skem. And with this, first blood goes to Yamato. Yeah, I honestly had no idea it did bonus damage to creeps, so that should actually help him kill the satyr.
They're gonna get a D ward off this too. He's scouting
he's
it out
already-
with the tower tricks.
He's already toggling that sentry into his inventory. Like, yeah, I know what's up here. This is my sentry.
Really strong start for Shopify.
Absolutely. We're going to see them make a fight here for the rune, though, as Fade will reveal everybody, but no real stunts, so they will just have to back away.
I think if... Oh, no, Skem. Okay, Skem already took Brain Sap, right? Because if he was saving his point, I feel like he could just follow Tiny around and like delay his lane return because he just cancel the TP.
That would have been very funny.
All right, this top lane we were worried about. Now they have a first blood as well on the Monkey King. So pretty scary, but Bignum starts with the Illuminate and they just blast out the wave. So, I mean, that's one way to prevent aggression is if Monkey King just has to keep dealing with 4 creeps under his tower. Perhaps you survive that way.
Yeah, that's definitely the best case scenario there.
Despite being killed, RCY, strong start. But I think this lane gets easier for Puck as time goes on. Get more levels, becomes easier to dodge the spells.
So I just am trying to figure out what is going to be the like game plan for the Dawnbreaker. We've seen a couple teams like rely on this, and I don't think we've really seen it even win a game. I don't think we've seen a lot of success out of it. It is not nearly as strong as it used to be in the lane, and I think into this Monkey King that we were talking about, also not a strong lane for it. So if they can kill it, then maybe that's their best case scenario, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that Dawnbreaker is going to be enough.
For now, it's CSing okay at least.
Yeah.
And it'll give you some global plays. As Storm zips onto someone, you get the Dawnbreaker ult in. As long as you keep going even in the lane, I mean, actually, that's fine. Especially considering it's into the Bane, which is a pretty strong laner. Caudle will be making stacks. So even if you have to give up some CS to the Monkey King, you could always recover that way. You got Celestial Hammer and Starbreaker to farm stacks pretty easily.
Fights over the Lotuses here in the bottom side. Hellscream. Yeah, not really winning that one against Yamsun.
I think Yamston waste some time, though. Miss a couple CS, having to wait for speed and the Satyr Mindstealer to get close to actually push Hellscream out.
Yopaj and RCY are just going toe-to-toe, but the Puck matchup is just so good. Anytime Puck can push the lane in, he can walk right into the tower, proc Puckish, which he's going to do right now. Get himself a little bit of health and mana back, and you just slowly win these little trades against the Storm. And then eventually he gets low enough for you to just Waning Rift orb him, and you catch him off guard, and it's a kill. So he's opted for the raindrops right away to make sure he does not get popped.
Fortunately, does have a Caudle who will make stacks and help him recover, though speaking of that Caudle, found by Skem, and Yamato actually was tree hopping over here.
Yeah, that's a freebie.
Another kill for the Monkey King.
And they will protect the water runes with this. So Yopaj will get the bottom water rune. And Scam will take the top, so RCY not going to get any regen coming out of this.
Has been killed.
Ooh, that's a 1,000 gold on the courier that just got killed by Hellscream.
What was on it?
Boots and a belt of strength for the tiny.
Oof. All right, those boots hurt. So Pakaz on the off lane. I'm assuming he's just gonna go like Bracer, Phase Boots, and then Blade Mail. That's just like typically the build for this hero.
Scanning.
You can't really easily get pushed out. He's not farming super well. Like props to Wildcard, all three of their cores at the top of the CS here. But I do worry for their ability to keep winning the lanes. Which apparently they have a huge stack that was made. When did that happen? Ringmaster? Throwing the crystal ball, being like, what's going on over
What
here?
you guys doing over there?
Skem's
using his extra night vision to just absorb XP. Yeah, I mean, Bignum made these stacks since they couldn't really play a normal lane, you know? So they were just shoving it in, playing for equilibrium, and anytime he had a free moment, he was doing these stacks. So you do secure all the last hits, but Scam being sneaky does get some XP out of it. He's a little late for the power rune, though, so maybe this will go RCY's way, especially if it's in this bottom spawn. Okay, shield rune, not the greatest rune, but you're just happy to get the rune in this kind of mid matchup.
The best thing you can get out of it is like a dive right behind a tower. Speaking of which, Yopaj messing with Bignum there.
Radiant are scanning.
And so far, kind of passive lanes from both sides as they're just farming it up. The Monkey King at the top of the net worth here, though.
Both supports come in top for Fade.
Yeah. That's going to be immediately dewarded. And they will jump in here onto Hellscream. He's only level 2. Okay, hold on. Silence out. Shield Rune protecting RCY. Tame the beast for a bit, doing some work. Does he have the coil? He does. And Yopaj will be forced to run. Wukong's command is out. Boundless Strike on the money. Trying to finish off the storm, but they can't do it. He's still got plenty of mana to play around. And the puck nearly dying in the process. Would have been a pretty rough kill. But instead, they get away.
Dire's middle tower.
And a good TP back from the Coddle to secure the Wisdom Shrine.
I mean, I said Shield Rune's not the best, but it can help you win these fights. Without that Shield Rune, Storm would have died in the Wukongs and the Coil. So, making use of that Power Rune, gets themselves a kill, get a Galvanized stack, and then just get straight back to farming.
Dire's middle tower.
Getting low on mana, maybe a visit from Bignum, top him off.
He just
even
pies the
lane.
creep. That's actually
pretty
kind of
funny.
cool.
I thought Konko was doing better down here, but seems to have changed up since we saw last checked in.
Well, he's got boat now. They're looking for Yamsun. X into the boat. Monkey King coming through as well. Even the ailment arts will slow him up as Hellscream, the one who actually yoinks the kill for himself. But here comes RCY on the storm. You actually don't have a ton of mana to play with, but it will be the Dawnbreaker to finish the kill here. Puck scouted on a ward, so they know that Yopaj is in the route. He does have a haste rune, though. That's a big one.
I think you got to get out of here. Might sacrifice the Chen and all the other cores. Got to get out.
Ooh,
RCY actually doesn't have a TP. Just like hiding in the corner. Okay, it's actually going to work. He's now walking out of here.
All right.
That's pretty good for Shopify. You kill the Tiny, you get the Chen. Should get some tower damage coming in here as well. And once you realize Wildcard is not mounting a defense, it should be the tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's falling.
Bottom tower
I don't... Especially when you have a keeper who has 2 levels in Illuminate, I think you should mount a better defense on these towers. This has kind of been the trend of this series. It feels like Shopify keeps getting all the towers, and Wildcard really struggles to find their first towers. Partly because they're losing the lanes, but here's a window to defend it, and you don't.
You're too busy stacking. Like it's actually what it is. They're too busy stacking and taking camps in the triangle, and they have a ward there that's been there for very long. So when they see the 2 heroes, they're like, all right, green light, take the tower, let's go.
For Wildcard's sake, let's hope it pays off. Get all
Arcane for
the
Yopaj.
extra farm from these stacks. And I mean, that's just the first tower falling, so it's not like it's the end of the world. But if that trend continues, and you keep losing towers, we might find ourselves in the same situation where you got a creep cut, and there's nowhere to do it.
They are coming bottom here for Pakaz. This is a big rotation, bringing in the Storm. They need to find him. All right, there's the zip in. He's in a lot of trouble. Not gonna be able to get the boat off. Just trying to clear the wave in time. Won't find any success with that. And they should just be going right back into the top lane here.
Stacks are getting stolen, though. I think you're supposed to come up here and defend this. Like, Caudle is supposed to TP in and recall people. Oh, his spirit form's over. Okay, rip. I think there's a tail end of it, but maybe not enough time to mount that play. So, can you get scam bottom? They have to keep going. You got to do high tempo plays with Storm and Keeper of the Light.
I mean, RCY's game is going to be really good because of the Caudle just following him around the map, but I agree. I think you need to be finding more on the Storm right now so you can build these galvanized stacks for the mid game.
I mean, we say it's supposed to be good, but he's kind of on the bottom of the cores with the Kunkka. And earlier you didn't defend the tower because you were making stacks, but then you couldn't defend the stacks, and Shopify actually went and killed him. Feels like Shopify outmaneuvering, outplaying. But with all that said, I guess there's not really much of a gold lead quite yet.
It's mostly this Monkey King who's just having a great game, and he actually just finds Chen here on the side. They get the Wukong's command is out. The jump in here from Fade, as well as RCY zipping all the way over. Okay, he got a little too overconfident. The response from Wildcard, very heavy.
Yeah, that was a little... I mean, maybe he thought Fade wouldn't use the ultimate to save a support like that, but... pretty risky to go for that kind of play.
Yeah. I mean, I think he just finished Diffusal, so he wanted to try and surprise someone, get a kill. He was definitely going to kill the Chen, but... Coil out. Fade, forced to pop it. They can get into range for the Fiend's Grip, maybe? No, in comes Storm Spirit. He gets the Nightmare, but... I need to be careful. Nightmare's going to get popped here on the side for Big Numb. They'll disable it and then instead settle for a kill on the Keeper of the Light. Mid lane. Tower push coming in. All right, here we go. Wildcard starting to take objectives. But now I need to get away as Pakaz comes to defend.
Thought about that monkey kill. Maybe you can push top, but they wanted the mid tower. I'm just happy to see a tower get pushed, so I'll take it. "14-minute wisdom runes coming up soon. There will be a Wukong, so we might see Tomato go for another aggressive play. I think when you get punished on that last one, you maybe think twice.
Yeah. I mean, if this Bane can get a Fiend's Grip from outside of vision, the Dawnbreaker's not going to have an easy time canceling this. So we'll see if they can manage to connect on that at some point. For now, they have an idea of exactly where the Bane is. So Storm playing pretty confidently in the lane. As the Caudle, going to recall him bottom. Oh, nice attempt there from Yamato to try and break that recall. Does not quite connect.
It's recalled just straight back into farming. I guess he's close to finishing what? The Kaya? And then the Orchid for Dawnbreaker's close.
Are scanning.
Alright. I'm up for this to finish these items, but I really want to see them up the tempo once that Orchid is done.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
feel like if you're going to draft the Keeper of the Light with the Spirit Form recall, that's the gameplay you've got to go for. And it looks like Shopify might be making the play first.
All right, they do have the X, the Torrent. Wukong's thrown just to try and do some damage. RCY is going to come in. Great save there from the Ringmaster, but can they actually bail him out completely? Great Fiend's Grip, but they've done the job. They take down the Monkey King. They're looking for more. It's going to be 3 dead on the side of Shopify at the end. That was so forced. As now they're looking for Pakaz. He's going to try and survive, but RCY with the unlimited mana pool, thanks to the Keeper of the Light, will vortex him right back in. Avalanche comes through. Even the Dawnbreaker is here. That is 4 dead.
Another over-aggressive play from Shopify on the Tiny. If they were all prepared for that, I think you can kill them and get out, but it felt a little disjointed, and that gave enough time for Wildcard to respawn, get a bunch of kills, now clean up the mid tower, and get themselves back on track for having an early lead with the draft they've got. I want to see them keep this up. Get these side lane towers, right? It feels like they've been really restricted the last couple games. I think if you can open the map, it'll at least bring us to a different type of game compared to the last 2 where they got shut out by Shopify.
Kind of funny Nightmare, but mid lane, we might see a fight here. They're looking for RCY. They do have Coil, but
Gotta get out of here, RCY.
they have a blink. He gets him right at the edge. Coil is out. The Fear connects. Torrent plus the Silence. RCY goes down. Great layering of spells there from Shopify.
Top tower is under
He was trying to bait with that illusion rune super hard.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, but just a bit too... I don't think you should take that kind of risk when the Tormentor's up, you know, and you don't see where Shopify has respawned and gone to yet. I think that's a little too risky, and he does get punished for it.
Radiant's middle
But they secure the Tormentor anyways on Wildcard, and it goes over to Speed, so... should now be able to get some Ancient Creeps. I think you want it on Keeper of the Light, though, when you have a Storm Spirit. You want that second recall charge, and you can either just keep using it on Storm to give him a ton of mana, or you can actually call multiple heroes into a gank.
They're looking for RCY again, but of course, no Coil this time. Orchid reveal. Nightmare will buy him a moment of space. Ringmaster can't get in range. Oh, that hurts, and now they're looking for more. Skem will get saved by the Escape Act, but the chase continues. Really nice Fiend's Grip, but Fade, he's so dang tanky. Another Orchid comes out, but it's not going to be enough to find a return killer under the Monkey King, or maybe it is. RCY goes back in, constantly getting his mana reset here by the Coddle as well. Yamsung coming in now on the Tiny. Avalanche toss just beats him down. Pakaz drops the boat on top of him. They actually buyback here on the Bane. This is a nice series of fights here from Wildcard. RCY is getting work done.
Unicycle almost steals that amplified damage. They zip to it, but it's... Bignum came in on that, so... Alright, there goes Bignum. As long as RCY gets out alive, I think that's okay, because the amplified damage might let you get a return kill later that's even more valuable than the Coddle. I don't think Bignum was expecting for him to zip for that rune, though, when he started that recall.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
So where are you taking me? Oh, a full Orchid done for Kunkka. This might catch...
top tower
Wildcard off guard, especially the Storm, who doesn't have a way to remove these silences quite yet. He is queuing up a BKB, but like 3,000 gold away from it, so you could certainly find some kills with this Orchid, though. Okay, never mind. He's pushing in the mid. They now know the Orchid's up.
They need to find something. They do see Yamsun under the under the sentry there. He is gonna walk in, and a nice silence out from the puck. X into boat and Bowman Arch as well. He's gonna start bleeding here, taking a decent chunk of damage, but they're so afraid to go onto the high ground. And now puck wraps around solo coils. There's nothing here from Shopify. You don't have damage.
Amplify damage is popped. You're looking for a fight.
And they're getting all the vision now, thanks to this Dawnbreaker. Hellscream saved by the Glimmer Cape for the moment, but they got the puck. Orchid is out, secures this one, and, well, Hellscream trying to TP into the trees. They have an avalanche. Does he throw it? No. Just gets out.
Okay, what can they look for? They're going to go through the Twin Gate, see if they can catch this Monkey King, perhaps?
Bottom tower is under attack.
He can't do it on his own, though. He needs someone else to come up here.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
All right, instead they're going to play for the Wisdom Shrines.
Radiant's top tower is under
A ward is going to spot Yamsun just before he goes into this, though. Skem has Fiend's Grip as well. You need help right now.
And that Wukong is doing work. The Orchid, though, is going to prevent you from doing anything else. And Yamato, are you strong enough? I guess with the Orchid from Pakaz just locks down the Storm. They get the big kill they were looking for. Wisdom Shrine, he gets in range. Pakaz gonna try and hold his ground here, as well as Yamato joining him. Even Hellscream as well. X into boat. They really want the Tiny, but they're gonna take speed down first. Do they have detection? Yamsun trying to make his way into the trees. He's gonna survive. He gets out.
The other
All right,
side,
that's a nice
Yopaj
fight there from Shopify.
They end up with both Wisdom Shrines as well. So, pretty big win. Pakaz making his way over so quickly saves that fight because the Bane Fiend's Grip was canceled. And actually, I don't think he even got to come out because they saw the Dawnbreaker coming in. And from there, Monkey King was going to get pushed off. But the Orchid from Storm lets them finish the Storm Spirit. And you just don't feel confident to take the fight after that.
They're still feeling pretty strong on Wildcard, right? They've got a 4,000 lead, even though that fight didn't quite pan out. I do worry that this Monkey King is getting a little bit too strong, because I do feel like he is a really good scaling hero in this game. And he is a Bloodthorn builder as well, so you could catch RCY with that. Skem looking for the Fiend's Grip. The Nightmare first. You gotta Fiend's Grip it. Yeah, they're gonna bring numbers, but do they have the damage? Trying to be healed up. The Wheel of Wonder doing something. RCY still alive though. He's gonna turn here. Saved by the Glimmer Cape and all the healing. They got themselves one kill, but Hawk jumps in, gets silenced as well. They catch him off guard. And now RCY is still looking for more Yamato. Big Wukong's command, but they just disengage. They got what they wanted.
I wasn't sure about this Dawnbreaker pick when we first saw it in the draft, but they've been really on point with the immediate Solar Guardians to save their allies and turn fights around that. It's been very effective for them so far. A 6K lead. Can you do Roche? They're not the best Roche team. I guess you just take the space, keep farming up items. Like speed sending his creeps top just to try to rat this tower. She's gonna work.
We saw in game one how much the Chen was able to get done on the map, and like just the net worth difference now between him and the other supports, it's adding up. Like we're gonna get to a point where this Chen is providing so much for the side of Wildcard in these fights that if you do not 100-0 a hero before they can respond, I feel like the fight's just gonna very quickly change into Wildcard's favor.
You're gonna go look for Pakaz.
He's so close to BKB. They know
Into the
exactly where.
jungle just in time, but yeah, this wraparound's gonna work. I think Yamson should see the creeps moving.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, Avatos into the Vortex. Very easy kill here. And now he's even further from the BKB. Very nice find there from Wildcard. Up to 14 Galvanized stacks. That's what we were talking about. The whole point of this is to make sure that your Storm
Dire structure.
has tons of stacks here in the mid game.
Here come the Chen creeps to tank the tower. Oh, actually, Tiny's gonna do it for them.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Okay, there we go.
Dire's top tower.
All right, this is the best game for Wildcard so far.
Oh, by far. They are
Scam?
so far ahead.
He's actually trying to see if they scatter on their way out. Into Yamson though.
Yeah, just barely on the edge of vision. They will see him.
I like the idea, but Wildcard
Radiant's bottom tower.
did not scatter off of that. Does not give up a free kill. And instead, they make their way bottom on the Caudle. So we should be able to bring in some heroes if Puck and Ringmaster don't respect this. If you try to make a play, try to push lane too far, RCY. Okay, actually, he's just going to show himself. I thought he might hide a little bit. Since you have the amplified damage, you could surprise someone.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
All right, Yopaj does have a Yules now. I was wondering when he was going to get an item to survive an Orchid. He is so underfarmed, especially in what should have been a winning matchup. He got completely shut down from the Orchid, from Fade, and he has died way too many times in this game than he can afford to. So we're going to see another Tormentor here potentially going Wildcard's way.
Radiant's
Bignum
middle
never
tower
bought
is
his.
under attack.
I still think it's really good this game. See if they can get it for him through this Tormentor.
She's smoking instead, looking for heroes on the top side of the map. They want to find a kill instead. Shopify smoked up themselves, though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They know something's up. They're like, all right, the Tormentor hasn't popped. That means that Wildcard is smoked 100%. So they're going to smoke aggressively onto Wildcard's side of the map and see if they can find anything.
You're going to get some tier 3 damage in because the Chen army, actually it's split up a little bit, but the Chen creeps are on their way with this creep wave. You're going to bait someone to go back.
They find Dawnbreaker, though. This is the absolute best target to find. You eliminate her from being able to join you in these fights, and now they will just go Tormentor on Wildcard. They're like, well, our gank doesn't succeed. We just got to get something out of this. So they're going to take Tormentor in exchange for the mid tier 2, as well as that Dawnbreaker kill. And it
At
goes
least
to
you
Big
get
Num, you're right.
Tormentor, but I feel like these are the types of mistakes that has ultimately been allowing Shopify to beat Wildcard, where Wildcard was so close to navigating that correctly. They were about to shove in top. I thought Fade was being really careful, but just need to be a little bit more patient, like 30 more seconds, and then someone is going to have to deal with top. Because look, I mean, they took 2/3 of the top tower with the Chen army there. So if you just are a little bit more patient, someone on Shopify is going to go home, and that's when you can start maybe pushing out. Your team finishes Tormentor, and it would have been a very clean move from Wildcard. You still mostly win because you get the Tormentor, you get the tower damage, but it costs you your Dawnbreaker. Puck is going to go with Deso. That's not what I was expecting.
So he's going to go Deso into Shard, like Parasma. That is like the way you play that build. But Deso.
Does he need to, is my question?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, It's not like you have a super strong minus armor strat. Maybe you're going to go AC on the Kunkka, and your Monkey King does do a lot of physical damage inside Wukong's.
It just feels like Puck has had a hard time entering fights. I know he's got the Yules now, but
I'd kind of prefer Maelstrom, to be honest, into, like, if you're going to go this build, right? Like, that way you can at least get a ton of Maelstrom procs off of your Shard, especially with the Chen army and stuff, but... Yeah, Desolator. Interesting. It could help him kill Big Num. Maybe the idea with it is he just wants to find the Coddle or the Chen and kill them, because they're not super high armor. Smoked up. Invis, Yamsun just going to walk right into him. Do they have detection? They do. They're going to see Yamsun at the start of the fight. In comes Dawnbreaker. They take away a big hero. Wukong's command is out, but can they actually finish off this Tiny? X will pull him back inside. Coil is down. He's getting healed up so much by this Chen. Everything is committed, but Yamsun still stands. Yopaj will finish off the Keeper of the Life, but the chase continuing. Another X into another Torrent, and finally, the Tiny will go down. Can they continue the chase? Yules, that's going to stop the Celestial Hammer. Somehow they come out kind of even. You had to buy back on the Bane, but you get the Tiny eventually.
I don't think the Bane even got to do much in that, like, after the buyback. Yeah, the Wukongs just did enough damage. Now they're going to go straight for Roche, and I don't think Wildcard can get here fast enough to defend this. Deso came a little too late for that fight to gain charges, but just in time to help speed up this Roshan kill.
They have 2 serrated shivs as well. Actually speeds up Roshan quite a bit. So here we go. I mean, this is Shopify turning the game here a little bit momentum-wise, and you are closing in on the Eye of Scotty. We saw how much healing Yamsun got in that last fight. Now, it wasn't just the Chen ultimate. They did dump a Greater Lotus on him, I think, or a Great Lotus. I'm not sure which one, but there was definitely a Lotus, like, force-fed into that Tiny to try and keep him alive. Coil, bottom side. Dawnbreaker coming through.
That's the gem, right?
That is I don't understand that death. He's the one who made the play, wasn't it? Am I missing something?
I missed the very start of that. I was looking around. Either way, a great catch for Wildcard, because not only are you getting the puck kill and delaying some of this Aegis time, but you just took the gem, and that's going to help you a lot to get vision superiority, give you the advantage to find the Storm pickoffs. Speaking of which, Storm finds a ward.
Yeah, he showed on the ward. It actually just expired on the, it was on like the bottom ledge there, and Storm just zipped over. Now, if it wasn't for the Dawnbreaker, he doesn't die, but this is where this Deso build is super greedy.
I just noticed Speed ratted top. I was not paying attention to that. He got the range barracks top.
He's dragging waves with his minions as well, so there's no creep waves coming top to help push.
Speed really wants to go to game 3, doing as much as he possibly can with his creeps. I think they saw Speed. They see his courier. TP's out just at the last second.
Yamato's still managing to stay pretty far ahead, but the 11,000 gold from the supports is where this really adds up. Bane is non-existent. This is like 2012 support gold. You know, like, I cannot imagine being a support at 34 minutes in current year and having only Tranquil Boots. Like, that's
He
it. He's
had
got
to-
tranquil boots.
Yeah, he's having a very rough time. He had to buy back earlier. These are the old weaknesses of the Bane, where the Fiend's grips are not easy to get, and this time there's an avalanche, there's a storm zipping everywhere. Yamato?
He's got a
They
haste.
they missed the initiation because of that. But he's fine.
He's going to go in, actually. He's got an Aegis for another minute and a half, trying to force something here. X. Doesn't get him on the tidal wave. Unfortunate, but good attempt there from Pakaz.
Tower is under attack.
And down here with Invis, but a sentry spots him, so
Dire's bottom
Yopaj
is under attack.
quick on the retreat. Speed causing TPs home. This is the nice thing about Kunkka. You got X mark, so X's himself goes home to deal with it, but he actually doesn't kill the Chen creep, so they're just gonna turn around and keep cutting this bottom wave. Oh, Storm gets
Puck,
caught.
though. They find him. The save's coming in here from Fade, though. The Will-O-Wisp as well. That will bail him out. So, they do not manage to get RCY Storm. You don't even manage to get his BKB. But you do force out the Dawnbreaker ult. Chen is being an absolute menace.
He's so rich because of this, too.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
He's
tower
closing it
is
on the
under attack.
puck. I'll tell you what, I thought you wanted the shard onto Keeper,
Dire's
and I still kind of believe that, but Speed has been absolutely making use of the fact that he got the first shard onto Chen. You know, he's not a typical ancient creep. He was actually using the Croaker, one of the new amphibian creeps. I actually don't know if that's... I guess that's... I mean, it's working. I don't know if it's the one he wants or just the one he happens to find and he's too scared to go look for more.
I think for now, Wildcard. Here's where pressure becomes an issue, right? You are actually ahead. You're 11,000 gold ahead in a game against Shopify. It's an elimination game. You lose this game, you are out. What is their avenue to finishing this series, or to finishing this game and staying alive in this series? Like, what do they need to do?
I think Speed has done a great job of pushing with his creeps. They got killed, so he's got to build a new army. You want to keep doing that. You want to bait rotations from Shopify and use that as a way to find not these 5-on-5s where things can get messy, but the quick pickoffs. Oh, he had to go home, so now we take a 5-on-4. We find a puck because we have better wards because we stole their gem, so we kill the puck. You know, now we can look for a team fight. You maybe find Pakaz, who's trying to TP up behind a tree. Last second gets out. And you just keep keep going for these plays because you have the gem, you have the creeps, you have the top range barracks. You should have the map state to eventually find the fight you want.
Here's
you just
the
have to
big
be patient
item.
for that.
Yeah, there's a big item coming out right now in Storm. This is potentially a game-winning one. The Scythe for RCY will allow them to potentially blow up the Monkey King. If he gets vision, the Scythe into the follow-up damage, maybe they can kill him, but it definitely gives them a kill onto Puck if they find him as well.
Speed managed to find the Troll Summoner, so if you ignore this bottom lane for just a little too long, you're going to lose everything. They know Kunkka is dealing with this, so this is the type of fight you might look for.
There it is. They find the Puck, instantly dunk on him after the Scythe. He is dead. Wukong's command's going to come out from Yamato with this BKB, but he's got nothing left. They can't actually do it. Yamato will have to TP out from the high ground. Scam, where you going, buddy? This fight, your team called it quits.
Yeah, he has
Two
no way
more
to get out of
kills.
there. So that's exactly what you want to do. Chen baits Pakaz to have to be bottom. It's not really even a bait. I mean, like, if you don't go, you lose your barracks in that lane. So someone has to go, but Shopify gets a little too aggressive top. This is where the recalls really help. You can move around the map very quickly with this Keeper of the Light. And they managed to take a 5-on-4 fight. It goes their way. I mean, you've already got the gold lead. Now you got the numbers lead. Now you move on, clear out any wards that Shopify had managed to place on the top half. There's still some kill time. Maybe you can finish this top melee barracks. If you force a third buyback from Bane, it's just going to be so sad.
They're going to try and whittle down Yamsun here, but the healing from Coddle is just way too much. You pop your fortification. They even get the drums out. He's gone.
This will be a clean escape. And Roshan could start to spawn at any moment. So just kind of fall back, set up your wards. Maybe you take the tier 2, but everyone on Shopify is up. And you just want to avoid the 5-on-5 fights.
Oh, Coil actually does catch. They need to just settle for the Coddle. You're not going to get RCY. But he's dead for 60 seconds. That's a long time. And RCY, he's going to continue to try and just play around his mana here. Yams showing on the Tiny for a moment. Boundless Strike. Yamato won't go up onto the high ground. He's taunting him.
Good find. There's actually no buyback on Keeper. He's a big part of holding. So you have the Chen creeps pressuring the enemies half of the map, while the Keeper is amazing at defending whatever Shopify's trying to push instead. Yeah, you sort of need him to make that work. So I think you do have to wait for him to respawn. In the meantime, Yamato does clear up the Chen army, so you're going to have to summon a new one. I guess persuade a new one in his case.
He dragged the mid creep wave to top on his other creep. So he had one creep left, dragged mid wave up to top. It's going to meet with their like super creeps, and that will help finish off the, the creep wave, or at least slow down the push. Now they are smoked up. Kunkka will break this and see RCY. So they have a pretty good idea of where Shopify is at the moment. They're bulldozing down mid, looking for this tier 2. Yamsun will get started on it. Dawnbreaker, of course, can join at any second, but you've got to find speed and you've got to find Big Num. The heroes on the backside, these supports, very strong, and they do. They find speed. The Chen going to immediately try to bail himself out, but can't do it. The Hex has caught the puck, but a great Fiend's Grip, as well as a escape back to try and bail him out, and now they're going to turn around with the Coil. Fade protected by the BKB. Yamato wants to chase, but they've got to find some other heroes here. Who's it gonna be? Big Boundless Strike in from the Monkey King. The Wheel of Wonder, it's taunted up. The two of them pushes them away. They get themselves a nice kill. All right, hold on. Escape back, and now Yamsun, he's left here all alone. Shopify finally wins a fight. But you've got to get back to your base. The Chen creeps have done work. They've cracked the high ground on top, so is it enough? Can you get Roshan and turn this game around?
Yeah, you should be able to get Roche easily here. They find the perfect angle into the back line. But partly, I actually think Wildcard needed to back off there. Like, nothing was showing on the map. And with Roshan being up, I think you need to hold a more defensive position. So Shopify ends up with a really nice fight, removes the supports without them being able to do anything, which is actually how a lot of Wildcard fights have started, by just killing Bane and Ringmaster. So we get the flip side of that this time, which allows the second Roche to go to Monkey King. The banner will be here as well, so that the Illuminate spam, if you do want to push high ground, right, you're going to have to go deal with that banner.
Look at the XP difference this game. I think that's the story about this that's really interesting. They have a 5-level advantage on Shopify, and they are about to hit level 25 on the puck as well. But you have 26 on Monkey King, 25 on your Kunkka, and now 25 on the puck. So you have debuff, immunity, piercing, coil now, which is a huge talent that they absolutely need this game.
A lot of this comes from winning that last fight that we just saw.
RCY top lane, Scythe onto the Ringmaster. That's a dieback.
Bit of a big commitment.
Never mind, regular death, not a dieback.
Oh yeah, it was I think the Bane is on. Oh no, Bane's is back up too. Ooh, RCY, did he get noticed? Okay, immediately zip TP out. Yeah, a bit of a big commitment, but when you have the Aegis, you really want all your heroes before you push, especially when you've been behind most of the game. So even killing the Ringmaster kind of forces you to wait out a minute of the Aegis timer.
That's a really nice find.
I guess it's not that long of a cooldown at this point either. The Dawnbreaker ult's the longest, but maybe you just use a couple Chakra Magics on her, and it's pretty much back up at this point.
Yeah. Puck has an amplified damage. We're going to see a Heart of Tarask picked up from the Kunkka. He did go the AC I was talking about earlier, right? If you're going to go this Deso Puck, I feel like you have to go AC on the Kunkka. So that gives him something, and it will be a Daedalus for Yamato. Okay, we're seeing the synergies. This is going to be some serious right-click damage. Just pure physical damage coming out from the side of Shopify here fairly soon. So if you get stunned up and this Monkey King is on top of you, you could very easily find the kill. Now they are hunting the Tiny here. They will see him. Coil is out. That will snap. Do they have detection? They do. He's forced to BKB. Can you get in range for the Fiend's Grip? Skem is slow. You have potentially a Torrent to catch. It won't do it. RCY gets a kill onto Hellscream mid. But they've got the Monkey King with this Aegis, though. He's doing a lot of damage, but he needs help. He's not going to get it. The Scythe connects. He's dead. Now they're going to turn back around as the rest of the team's going to try and help him out.
Bottom buildings are falling in the middle of this.
Oh, you're right. He's got the army in the base. He gets himself the range barracks, and Melee now under siege. You gotta get a lot out of this. They've found Fade. He's gonna BKB, try and TP out. There's no way. The damage is too much. And guess what? Yamsun finishes off the racks.
Credit that to Yamsun. That was all Chen on the creeps.
You won the fight, but what cost?
Yeah, now what? You might be able to get something out of this. You lost your barracks. Puck's gonna go deal with the rest. You're in front of the base, 70 seconds dead on Dawnbreaker, and we've seen immense physical damage from Shopify, so you could equalize buildings pretty quickly here. Speed, Ogre Steel Totem gonna get him to safety.
This forces Tiny back.
On Coddle. It's actually only 100 short.
Forcing the Tiny back is
give up
huge.
Mid. Yeah, give up the mid lane, and it's not that big of a deal.
Avalanche toss, really nice escape back though. Does he have a BKB? He will when he comes out. He's gonna pop it into a second escape back, but the racks, the backdoor protections come through. He's gonna drop the Wukong's command, try and do what damage he can, but the Avalanche, the toss, you can't lose him! Yamato goes down, Yopaj comes in, big Fiend's Grip, Coil doing some work as well. The buyback from the Storm. They're gonna look for their targets, and they got him. Bane goes down, they defend the lane of barracks, they get the gem. And Storm continuing to chase, looking for Yopaj. He has a Lincoln Sphere. Can he get out? Oh, there's the Scythe, the Vortex, the Silence. That is a dead Puck for 100 seconds. And it seems like Wildcard, well, maybe finally getting the best of Shopify here.
You at least get Megas here unless you get distracted. I'm pretty sure as long as you A-click down, you've got the Megas. They're going to try to catch Paka since they have no creeps to break backdoor.
He's dead. He has no BKB.
Tanky, but there's 5 heroes here.
Does have buyback.
Oh, he'll need to use it.
Yeah.
You got to give up the Megas. There's no buyback. He's 120 short on the Monkey King. What's Puck short?
Hurts.
240. When you don't buy back to defend Megas, Wildcard's going to get an idea. I don't think they've got the buybacks. Now, do you play it safe? Wildcard seems to want to. I don't know. They are pretty down.
You've got,
I feel like you should
Tiny
have.
Storm, right? Like, just smoke and look for a pickoff or something.
I kind of get it because I mean you're at the edge of being eliminated. You know, you really need this win, and you do have Megas, which should set you up to win later. But I feel like if they don't buy back to stop Megas, that should be your sign to like, push a little harder. But it was the Storm buyback that allowed them to win that fight. And if you lose Storm in that push, I mean, they're just going to run it down and end up winning the game instead. So I understand the pressure they're under. We'll see if that actually ends up something they regret not pushing harder there to win. I do think they're in a good spot here, though, right? You've got the Megas.
Yeah,
you just got
absolutely.
a Tormentor. Bump that gold lead up to 20k. Next, Roshan. Like, this is the easiest way to end it, right? Just hold the map. It should always push in your favor. You got the gem in that last fight, so do some group D warding. Wait for Roche. Get Roche. Use it to push with your Megas, and it should be a straightforward win. But you can't count Shopify out. They've been really good at finding fights throughout this series. Maybe they can find one more to get them back in this game. It has to be a very swift victory. Like, the fight just goes disastrously for a wild card, and Shopify runs it down and wins. Skip the barracks, go straight to the throne.
RCY going Aeon Disc is such a good call. He's like, I can't afford to die. So he's going to have an Aeon Disc to combine if necessary. We'll bail him out of potentially Coil or like just the stuns from the Monkey King and getting bursted. So absolutely necessary pickup. He's played such a good game. Helps having the Keeper of the Light on his team, but still, got to give credit where it's due. RCY is owning.
And credit the speed as well. I think his micro has been exceptional. And I didn't realize the strength of the Croaker creeps, the new amphibian ones. But Tendrils of the Deep is only 50 mana while doing 160, 180 for Chen. So it's been really good at dealing with creeps. They're zipping for the Monkey King.
Nightmare is going to buy him a moment. He needs to BKB. Escape Act is out. He needs to run, though. You got to bail out of this. You cannot afford to die on the Monkey King. And Skem holding the high ground. He needs to heal. You need to X and let him TP. Okay, they're just going to TP. Their base is just under siege.
If it was just regular creeps, I think you can hold that position longer, but there were catapults in the base, so you would have eventually lost your tier 4s. Should allow Wildcard to regain the advantage for Roche. There's a lot of observers placed in that triangle, but you can no longer hold now that Pakaz had to TP home. They're actually still a little scared, though. Scared of walking in. All right, Yamson's going now with the Silver Edge. Well, I guess they just don't care because Roche is actually going to spawn bottom.
Stupendous.
We've got a little bit more time here to see what Wildcard can do. They're just playing it very safe, like you said. Roshan is up. Which team is going to find it? And will we hit these 60-minute items? Like, I don't know if it's going to make too much of a difference if we do. But
we're at the point in the game where any major winning fight could lead to the end of the game. So the advantage is to Wildcard, but you still have to navigate these final steps correctly. They know Roshan's up. It's got the refresher. Pakaz found in the back.
fake Roshan running around the map. They find Pakaz. He's BKB'd up, looking for some help. Can you follow it up and get him out? It doesn't look like it. Coil is down. Wukong's command. They get the Tiny. He is just getting beat to death here. The E-Blade almost saves him. But a 1-for-1 trade, but that is a dieback on a big kill, which is the Kunkka. They're going to jump in. The Hex going to come out. They're going to buy back now on the Tiny, get him into this fight, and the escape back trying to bail out Yamano. His BKB protecting him. Can you bring down Yamson twice, or can you get RCY? Can you get speed? You got to find something. They're going to turn it back around, try to take the Monkey King, but another escape back. There's the Hex, the Nullifier on top of him, and finally the job is done. The heroes falling on Shopify. It is too little, too late. And Wildcard are just a little bit too strong. They're going to buy back on 2, try to defend the base. Yopaj going for a TP out, but Yamsun's found him. Avalanche Toth, the Scythe, as well committed. You're going to have to spend all the buybacks here to not die.
Dawnbreaker has no buyback. Tiny had to buy back. I think they're going to get him the Aegis, and you... at that point, you don't have time to go push while they're dead. But I think you do it anyways. It's just a little too scary to go without the Tiny buyback.
Yeah.
And from here, I think you wait Dawnbreaker to come back in. You go with the Aegis. Or maybe you just hold the map so you can get pickoffs first. I mean, that's... It's been a very tense game.
Divine
It's
Rapier.
a little scary. Ooh, okay,
Tiny
never mind. We're just
Divine.
going.
It's right in.
They're going.
Yeah, they're going to go straight throne. They have Aegis and BKB for him. They're going to go straight for the throne, and RCY zips in. They're going to buy back on Yopaj. This is it. If he gets to your buildings, it is over. You have no fortifications. They're going to try and do what damage they can. They jump in for now. Wukong's command is out from Yamato. Coil's going to connect. Hold on. Nice Aeon Disc saving RCY. Refreshes into a BKB. He's out. All right. Big commitments here from Shopify. Now, that is Refresher BKB out of Storm, but... a big bad Tiny's got his eyes set on that throne. Looking for Pagaz. Avalanche toss. Zipping into the backside. Looking for more. Escape Act will get him out. The Will-O-Wisp, it being very annoying. But the big Fiend's Grip comes in. They've pretty much finished him off, but the saves from Fade is just healing him up. The damage is overwhelming. They can't kill the Tiny. And that will be the game. 3 dead on Shopify. The throne exposed. GG comes out, and finally, Wildcard will crack Shopify, showing they're not invincible. We're going to a game 4.
That was a close end, even though I feel like Wildcard had the lead for a while. Any shenanigans?
Okay, he did say with recall. So I was going to say, he went for Solarbind before and just played like Max Illuminate and farmed. So I was like, maybe he's just going to go that route, but no, it doesn't look like it. So we'll be playing around the recall with Caudle this time. I like it when you have something like...
I think Hellscream did that one.
Was it Hellscream? Oh, it might have been. I thought it was Big Gnome for some reason. But
or was it
either
the
way,
other series? I'm blanking.
I don't know. Smoked up. Big reflection onto 4, but Yamsun taking a decent chunk of damage here. Spear's going to come in on the hero. Really nice bro strike. Oh, the damage from Wildcard. It's adding up. They get themselves first blood here on the speed as Yamato. Needs to be careful. But with everything on cooldown, I think they will just back away.
30 seconds to battle.
Hey, you get the first blood onto the Jakiro. Should help you get a good start for Yamsun. He just bought so much regen with that first blood. Yeah, you can take way more trades in that top lane now.
They're looking like they want to fight here once again. They're like, we killed you before. We'll do it again. Yopaj is going to get pushed away, so slight rune advantage as well going for Wildcard. So good start to the game there.
So that's... yeah, 3 bounties and the first blood. We've been saying Wildcard struggles to get going, so all these little advantage certainly going to help out.
RCY doing pretty good with his micro and mid lane right now. Making sure he is getting his CS. Hellscream already forced to pop a salve against the Jakiro. I was hoping we'd see a Twin Terror, but it's just going to be the casual icebreaker.
It's pretty good versus the Tide. In case he happens to dispel your stun, you can maybe proc a second one if you react quickly.
Is he actually just... Yeah, he's just Illuminate spamming. Trying to kill the small camp. Nearly does, but
Dire's courier
Scam will
has
force
been
him away.
Ooh, Courier gets killed, though. Has a salve on it, so... He's been getting chipped down by this AA. Soon you won't be able to engage anymore.
Yeah, that is... Ooh, Hellscream actually going down top side. The level 2 timing there. Out from Wildcard.
No one dying bottom, but with that sentry placed down, they harassed Fade. Lost a lot of his health there.
Yeah, I feel like
This
this
is
lane
the
should
annoying
be
thing.
pretty good.
Yeah, this is the annoying thing about AA and Gyro. They just keep using Flak, Ice Vortex,
Pick
and
up his
Chilling
side.
Touch. Yeah, wow.
The Ice Vortex AoE just... He couldn't get out of the trees.
Skem's now 1v1ing a Sand King. I love watching Skem play.
Yeah, he's in trouble. I think he's... Okay, it's
have
like,
one more
if he
sentry?
didn't have detection, he... If they had detection, he was dead, but...
They did have one, but maybe deciding is a little too close to the tower, and they'd like to save it for the actual lane itself.
That's fair.
Even if you don't kill him, you already bullied him out, and that's pretty good. Yeah, and he uses it to unblock a hard camp instead, which, for how much they've been pushing, usually the safe lane doesn't want to open up the hard camp, but it's actually going to go to the gyrocopter in this case, thanks to the flat cannon.
Yopaj is so dead. All right, so I needs to drop tower aggro, but he just walks him down in the mid lane. And he's going to lose 4 creeps under the tower. Is now Hellscream in trouble topside. You have a dual breath in 2 seconds. Hellscream has the Lotus to play around. Yeah, and speed. He does not. All right, this mid lane's a disaster for Tiny. Yopaj is getting worked. 20-7 to the 9-1. And a solo kill.
Pretty rough. Do you have supports that can help? Not really. AA, not a great rotation, and Ringmaster just got killed by the Jakiro. We last looked at Jakiro, he was so low health, but he's such a good trader. Still manages to kill the Ringmaster.
Gem running after the old man on a horse. Does manage to TP home.
RCY is going to get both water runes if he wants.
I think he wants.
I mean, at this rate, he's going to have a pretty fast level 6. You can either try to kill mid again or maybe rotate down where the Gyro's been doing pretty well, but Roar will get you the kill, and then you just get topped up by the Chakra
I think
Magic.
Hellscream's dead again. Unless he has escape back, he's dead, which he's only level 2, so I do not imagine he has it. The burn damage from Jakiro.
Even that's not
Yeah,
enough.
it's too good. Wow, speed off to another great start here, this time on the Jakiro.
And doing a lot of work with that first blood that went to him. Now he's 4-0. But this actually creates a problem now as position 5s, where he now has to be careful to not die, because he's actually worth quite a lot. For example, if Shopify organized a gank where Yopaj kills Speed, that'd actually be huge. It would be the kill streak gold going to recover Yopaj's game.
Honestly, I don't even think Yopaj can show in mid now that he has Roar. If he gets like if he gets like 1 or 2 axes on you, he can just kill him in Roar. Like, he doesn't have the armor quite yet. He's not level 6. So he needs to be very careful to not play too aggressive as speeds come in mid as well as the coddle. They do not want Tiny to have any form of recovery on this on these power runes.
Could be successful. See both runes covered. They see Yopaj going bottom too, so RCY makes his way there, and there's even an illusion rune. I mean, you could use that to kill. All of these can help you kill the tiny. Illusion maybe not the best, but even the illusions will add a little damage as you roar. Oh, Tide. Pretty tanky with the Kraken Shell active, but he is so slow.
Reflection. It should be able to help run him down. He just needs one more auto attack. Yamsun's got it. Bottom lane. RCY rotates in to help salvage a lane after they dive and kill the Sand King. So RCY's roar comes out bottom instead of mid.
I mean, this is where they were struggling anyway, so I think that's a great rotation. It's a little space to Yopaj, but not that much. And especially if both Wisdom Shrines end up going to Wildcard.
No way, Jakiro gets away with this. He misses the ice path. Oh, that hurts. He's so dead now.
He would have had it if he hits that ice path. It does bring 4 heroes here, and maybe this Alpha Wolf. Nah, Alpha Wolf is a Shopify fan. Doesn't get the deny. But you get 4 heroes to rotate over. Oh, man. If that ice path connects, he would have get away with murder there. Double Wisdom Shrine. Oh, that was also the kill streak we were talking about, too. And it actually did go to Yopaj. So, pretty big. Like, he was dropping down to the 6th on the net worth, and jumps him up to 4th, though, not by a huge margin. So we do see RCY 1,200 gold up. And he is going for the Ags. We don't really see the Overwhelm, the Helm of the Overlord build from mid Beastmasters. It's typically the Ags, and I think that makes a lot of sense when you have a keeper on your team, so that you get the Axe spam and the lower cooldown roars.
What? How much gold did he get for that bounty? Like on the Jakiro. I'm guessing it was like 400 gold probably.
343 gold, and then 258 on the assists. Yeah, but for the rate his lane's been going, that's like a full minute faster than he would have been. How many stacks we got? Not too many. I think either they were already cleared or Bignum wasn't having the greatest time in the lane, so I don't think he got as many stacks as he would have liked. But I think they should start stacking for RCY. Get this Ags online ASAP. You do have the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. It's pretty good versus Beastmaster. But it's still something you have to land. And Beastmaster could be the one running in first, roaring the Ancient Apparition, killing him, and then, you know, you've just lost that tool.
I think for now, with the slight advantage that they've built on Wildcard, you need to get your Sand King's Blink Dagger. It really needs to. You need to make space for this guy. You need to get him closer to having an initiating off lane, because it's going to take a minute for the Tiny to get there, right? Especially now that he's just been roared up and he's about to die here. Ooh, toss back, but Reflection's got him, and the Hawk dive bomb even connecting as well. The kill is going to go the way of Yamsun.
I want to go see them push mid. I don't want to see another situation where they don't capitalize on kills and take enough towers. It looks like he's headed in there, so come on, Speed, get some Liquid Fire going. He's got 2 points in Liquid Fire.
Yamsun just walked back top and died.
Uh-oh. All right, something going the way for Shopify.
And they will
Can
TP
they
to
defend
defend.
mid?
You have a catapult
No Ice
still.
Blast.
This surely needs to die, right? They can't.
You
They
don't
will
have
not stick around.
Roar.
Big Num's gonna recall top. Who is he bringing?
It's the
Who's he
Sand
bringing?
King, I think.
It's gonna be the Sand King. Okay, so just to defend the tower, not to fight.
All right, they at least got a lot of damage in mid. I'm happy with that. It's got 230 health left. Should be an easy pickup if they just shove one wave in later.
Gyro has started to take off, if you would say.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
What if he was flying the whole time, though? Can we really call it that?
Let me have this, okay? This is all I got.
All right, Gyro is taken off because all the action's happening everywhere else, so Yamato making good use of the space. Very much is going to be needed to join in the fights later because his teammates are struggling a bit. But I think they'll bide their time until Yopaj can get the blink, which is about 1,000 gold off. They will have the Ice Blast. Maybe you can make a play with Ravage first and then wait for the blink after that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Maybe just Ravage speed and take the tower.
Because gonna throw the gush. Ice Blast. It's gonna hit anyway. Okay, they don't even need the Ravage. Well, do you need the Ravage? You might. RCY is coming in. Yamsun here as well. Because gotta run. Here comes Tiny though. Avalanche, toss, call down, everything on the RCY. He's gonna take the double missile. He throws the roar. Yamsun still standing, gets sundered. Wheel of Wonder will take out the Coddle, but Fade will pop the epicenter instead. Looking for Yamato, tries to toss him away. Instead, just tosses him right to his death. And now Yopaj will join him as well. That is a very costly fight here for Shopify. It will be a 5-for-1 in less health. Okay, hold on. Oh, he gets caught on the max range bro strike. Well done from Fade. One more Axis. He's got him.
Nice try at the dodge, but
Radiant's middle tower
not quite enough. Meta lasts long enough that they even get the tower. Team player Yamsun Sunder saves the Beastmaster to allow them to turn that fight. Really nice call. It was a little scary. Yamsun in turn got close to dying, but manages to stay alive in the back line. He even had the Dragon Lance allowing him to attack from afar, even while low. Maybe he's tied now?
They're going to
Action's
keep
not done?
trying to stagger the stuns. You can build
Roaring
up axes,
too?
but RSOI also needs to be careful. He cannot afford to die on this Beastmaster with how farmed he is right now.
Yeah, especially as they see the Ice Vortex, they know AA's there, and Ice Blast should be up from that earlier fight. And that counters all the healing from this Aghanims. So that's kind of what allows you to play aggressive. You roar and you just become so tanky, but not if an Ice Blast hits you.
Oh, speaking of an Ice Blast, completely off the mark there.
Dire's top tower is
And
under
Roche should be on the table anytime Wildcard once, but I don't think you have to do it right now, because actually with 14 minutes, you've missed the Shrine steal attempt, but I still think you go for the Tormentor as it spawns. You have Roar available, so you should be able to win that fight. You just got to be careful of the Ice Blast. And then after that, you can go for
scanning.
Roshan.
I mean, RCY is so farmed on this Beastmaster. We saw what happened last game when he was off to a good start for his Storm Spirit. We'll see if he can carry that same type of momentum here in game number 4. As we are smoked up on Shopify, trying to find something here with the blink reveal of Yopaj, but instead they reveal a ward. So
One hit on that observer left.
Yeah.
It's the hardest working observer.
Dire are scanning.
Fate here will just sit quietly behind the tower, give this one up to Yamato.
Dire's bottom tower.
No reason in giving a death here.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, it seems like Wildcard's play is to just give up the Tormentor in exchange for Roshan.
Well, get out of
Patient
here.
enough.
Does he still have that regen rune? He does. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say I know he did have it, and so this will help out quite a bit with the Roche. Dude, just this healing from Coddle as well. So much.
Kind of close. Okay, Shard over to the Ancient Apparition, which is usually pretty good. This game, I think Spotlight's pretty nice versus the Terrorblade. Not too bad. I'll have to buy his own later.
Tower is under attack.
depends on if they can actually set up their ice blasts, right? We actually haven't seen them connect on the last one very well. You need to have the Tiny and Ancient Apparition playing somewhat together and looking for these pickoffs, but Wildcard's not really giving them that opportunity yet.
Radiant's top tower.
Beastmaster found himself an amplified damage rune, so he is the scariest hero on the map right now. Blink Roar kills anybody. Maybe the Tide can live if he's in a very defensive positioning.
Radiant are scanning.
Ooh, smoke coming through the top. You know, I take that back. If you Ice Blast the Beastmaster, you could still kill him at least the once.
Absolutely.
They're wrapping around the back, seeing if they can find him. But Wildcard's read this. They've backed off. They smoked. They're heading bottom, but no one's actually there since everyone just came top. So both teams going to miss each other right now. But you can at least get some observers down and take this tower with the Terrorblade connecting in bottom. I like the movement. Even if you don't connect, these are the kind of plays that Wildcard seem to be struggling with a little bit in the first two games. So you can't connect on every play, but it's good that they're making them.
I feel like normally I would favor Shopify, like dodging out these movements, but you are also like on a little bit of a requirement here to try and make this Tiny's Blink Dagger do something. And you just haven't really been able to, so you're going to lose the bottom tower. Now they're going to come top here to try and find the gyro. That's the blink reveal from RCY, and that is just a solo kill. He has an amplified damage running. Yeah, he just kills him 100 to 0.
There's no roar. Can you take a return fight, maybe? They get an observer down and see Jakiro. Amplify's about to end.
He did get the tower, Copium.
Yopaj joining in.
Okay, there it is. Ice Blast, Avalanche, Toss. They've got the Keeper of the Light. Ravage to follow it up. That's best case scenario. Now you just need to kite out this Beastmaster, maybe get the Aegis, but instead they're going to try and chase for speed. Blood Grenade out, Cold Feet. Trying to hobble away, but they will lock him down long enough and get the kill. Now in comes Fade, Blink Dagger. Trying to find the opening. All right, they get Hellscream instead. Never mind. I mean, that's like best case scenario from Shopify, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. You took that fight into Aegis. You're down like 3k, so pretty even trade. You're happy with that. Actually, it looks like they gained about 1,000 gold off of that, so yeah, I'd say that's good. Downside is he still has the Aegis and Roar is up. You just found a haste rune too, so you got to be very scared of this Beastmaster right now.
We haven't really seen anyone shut down this RCY quite yet. He's got a haste rune in his backpack, ready to go. He will be worth a pretty penny if they can kill him, but this Aegis, he's still got, what, just over a minute on it?
Yep, a minute and 10. I hear the ultimate on Coddle being used, getting ready to recall in teammates. We'll find Hellscream.
Nice fear. Holy heck, no way. All right, that was some nice jukes for a while, but unable to escape entirely.
For that many heroes, though, it's actually not that great of a find for Wildcard.
Yeah.
It does secure them the next power rune, though. And maybe you can find more since you do have the recall on Coddle. He sees Yopaj. Is anyone else
He's just
on the
holding
way?
his blink. He'll just go for the TP on out. Blink roar. Oh, it was so close.
His mouth was open. The sound was starting. Just not enough. I mean, Wildcard made use of that Aegis, but I think Shopify managed to limit it. It's not that bad. You know, it's like a 4K lead at 21 minutes. That's good for Wildcard, but it didn't get too out of hand. So good dodging from Shopify and an immediate smoke up as they know the Aegis has expired.
BKB on RCY, though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This guy is so farmed. It's going to be really hard to kill him unless you get the Avatos into Ice Blast opener.
Radiant,
I don't know if he's going to die.
Radiant's bottom
The smoke up from
Wildcard making
Wildcard
their
will
own
make
smoke.
it that much more difficult as they come through the Twin Gates as well. We got a big battle here up on the high ground, though. It's going to favor them. Yopaj blinks up. Avalanche, but he gets the BKB off in time. He'll turn around with a roar. He gets onto Yamato. Escape Act is there. The Epi, though, connects. Ice Blast doing its best. Where? It didn't hit the backline. He ravaged 4, but there's no Ice Blast. It hits nobody. Oh, what a disaster for Shopify. Pakaz somehow TPing out, but it's going to cost you 3 heroes. How did you miss the Ice Blast?
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what, RCY was in the perfect position for that play. Sees the Tiny, the smokes break, pops his BKB in time before he can get chain stunned, and then roars the gyro. And although the Ice Blast Ravage combo didn't quite connect, the Burrow Strike Epi certainly connected onto the roar, allowing them to just kill the entire backline. And from there, once you miss the spells, like, they have to connect. You need to land Avalanche Toss, Ravage, Ice Blast, Wheel of Wonder. Like, this combo's got to go together. And suddenly, 4K goal gained from that fight.
Yeah, that is a huge win. The BKB, like we said, it just gives him so much stability in these fights. And now Shopify really on the back foot. Like, your heroes are not really scaling at the
CY's
same
got
rate. And
roar again.
RCY with a haste, he's just going to try and build up stacks here onto Pecans. He's going to immediately pop that barrier, but the heroes are coming.
Does he want to commit to it? He knows Tide is the tankiest hero. Gonna go look around with his haste. Ooh, fast escape back to dodge the roar.
That's nice, that was nice. But
Alright,
Yamson's on your
haste burn
building.
over.
Radiant's top
This is what we lacked from them in the previous games, right? We just did not see pressure. Even when the game felt pretty good for them, they were not taking objectives and grouping up. And now it feels like Wildcard really has their confidence back. So it's nice to see. We'll see if they can keep it going.
Is this the legendary reverse sweep? If they win this game, we go to game 5.
I mean, it could easily happen. With how RCY is playing right now, I could see him with getting away with the reverse sweep here.
Next steps. Tormentor should be soon. Though maybe you gotta do Roche, because the order got a little messed up. They gave up the shard for Roche, so actually the second Roche is up already. If you can steal that away on Shopify, you actually buy yourself so much time. But they don't really have a good Roche lineup. I think maybe the best you can hope for is to snipe it with an Ice Vortex,
Yeah.
and then someone gets in there. But
As I say, you're-
Wildcard
you're-
in turn should just not do it until you get a pick off first.
Yeah, exactly. As I say, your best chance of getting Roshan is Wildcard getting Roshan very low for you, and then
Yeah.
it dies. Big Ice Path Macro Pyre there from Speed. Going to be able to do quite a bit of work. But Tide will finish off the kill onto the Jakiro. The question is, do they want to keep chasing and looking for more Fade? He's looking for an opening. Won't find it. Gem here. It's scary without the Jakiro, but they still feel so strong.
Good retreat from Shopify. Meta got popped, so if you can just wait this out,
Yeah.
you lose a lot of strength from the Terrorblade. Right, yeah. Clean escape. RCY does push in bottom, so someone will go deal with that. Don't know if you want to attempt Roche without meta available. Maybe you do Tormentor first?
I like the idea of just taking the Tormentor.
As long as you have a boar scouting out Roche, because I think if Shopify tries to steal it, it'll be slow. So as long as you know they're trying, you'll have time to recall everyone in and then defend it. So I think you could send most heroes to Tormentor and just have Coddle top.
Right now, it looks like Shopify just want to farm. They're going to send an
I'm
Ice
thinking
Blast bottom.
RCY.
Is this going to hit the Beastmaster? No way, right? Yeah, he gets the
He's
blink
being
out.
recalled.
And he's been recalled. So another Ice Blast whiff. The idea is you have Dead in the Water, so you go for like the blink, Dead in the Water into the Ice Blast, but he has a BKB anyway.
I mean, forcing that out also would have been huge. I think they saw that Ice Blast go bottom, though.
Oh,
so
they definitely did, yeah.
Yeah, so with that, you know that you can pretty safely do this Roshan now. It's the Ice Blast is the scariest part. Now,
They scan the high ground.
Still try to contest. The Ice Vortex. This is part of the reason AA is so good. With the new positioning on Roche, it's so easy to drop Ice Vortexes in there to scout what's happening.
Ooh, blink stun. They catch the Ancient Apparition, but great save there.
You bait out the Gyrocopter's ultimate. Just straight back to Roche. Ice Blast is going to be up again at this point, though.
I think you just fake it and look for this Ancient Apparition again. But your Beastmaster's in a weird spot. He's going to jump into the pit. Hold on, this gives Fade the opening as well as RCY roars right onto the Gyrocopter, pops the BKB, and Yamsun's just beating down Yopaj. They're trying to run. Yamato will get the Strongman Tonic and the BKB. It gets him out for now, and he will TP home. But that is 3 dead. Wildcard not even breaking a sweat in this fight, as they will get it Roshan as well.
The simultaneous initiation, RCY jumping the gyro, but maybe you can kill him with the Ice Blast. But Fade finds the Ancient Apparition, they stun him, Ice Path, and just kill both sides at the same time, prevent that spell combo from coming out. Really nicely done from Wildcard, and that'll secure them the second Roche. You can even go for the Tormentor next, and that should push you towards a 15k gold lead, I would say.
Oh,
Ooh, Bakash tries for the steal. I respect it, but boy, are you dead now.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess he does have Ravage if you want to use it to get out.
As to be fair, he's tanky, and it takes a while to kill him, so there is a world here where he doesn't die for this. And it seems like this is, in fact, that world, and instead an Avalanche Ice Blast connects. They're going to get the Jakiro and even a very low Yamsun Terrorblade. They do take down the
He's
Tiny,
looking for a
and now...
Sunder.
Yeah, Fade will set up a kill onto Skem as well, trying his best to hobble away here. Yamsun getting body blocked by his own illusion. But, yeah, that's a big find. I will say credit to Speed. He threw the Ice Path in the Roche pit and popped it the second Roche died so that you couldn't go for an Aegis steal. It is something that, you know, some players maybe would forget about, but they just jump right into the base. Wheel of Wonder is out. Not going to hit anybody, but Yamato taking a lot of damage, and with this Beastmaster amplify damage, I think, for the 3rd tide in this game, and Yamsun on the back end of this meta, they should get themselves the first lane of barracks here pretty easily.
I think they're content to just get the range and... No, well, actually... He maybe left a little too, so he's going to try to use one more illusion to get the job done, but Gyro's right here. So I think they backed literally a second too soon. They could have finished that range round and then get out safely, but I mean, you're not going to complain too much. That was still a really big win for them. They've got 3 minutes left on this Aegis, so you can just wait out the cooldown on meta and then go again. They're in a great position right now.
Yeah, I'd say Beastmaster's on his way to his nullifier. He's getting close.
Yeah, Escape Act can be dispelled, but you can't target them, so you got to be using it first. But since he's the initiator, of course, he should have that advantage to be able to blink, nullifier, roar. And once you've got that, there's no longer this Escape Act, which has been successful at buying you a few extra seconds in these fights. That tool's now gone.
Ooh, Dead in the Water dodged. Did not have Vision. And, well, because, again, borderline unkillable on this Tidehunter, but...
You have one more good fight in you on Shopify. After that, I think it's just out of your control. They have not been able to find the ideal fight. Started off with Avalanche, Ice Blast, Yamato free to attack the whole time. It's just been really messy. Wildcard starting it on their terms every time. We're getting to the point where soon, even if you started off the way you want it, you're gonna be too far behind to win the fight anyways. So these are kind of the final moments for Shopify. You've got to get something to get yourself back in this game.
I'm just trying to figure out if Wildcard's going to give it to them, right? Because at this point, it does really feel like Wildcard is in the driving seat. And you're going to have to try and capitalize on a mistake of Wildcard rather than, you know, just kill them. I don't think it's that easy. Now, they did pop the meta here, and I will say typically in most games you're not as willing to just pop the meta like this, but I guess because Coddle doesn't have like a very obvious... Oh, they find him anyway. The nullifier's out. Escape Act's gonna get purged. Yamato on the run. It doesn't help. He's dead.
The creep wave is right here too.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
There should be 2 sets of racks.
Some decent damage. Oh, nice Lotus from Pakaz. Prevents the Sunder, but that's a lot of damage from Fade. Big epicenter. Yopaj is kind of stuck inside of it. Ice Blast doesn't really connect. Wheel of Wonder off the mark as well, and they will just chase for Hellscream. Beat down by this Beastmaster. I mean, I don't want to call it, but I think we got ourselves a Game 5 on the horizon.
You may not win right here on this exact push, but you've broken the game at this point.
Radiant's middle has fallen.
Toss back. Did he find anything? So much
Ooh,
damage
nice
is missing
Ravage.
because no gyro.
They got the Sand King.
Oh, that's a
but
gem.
Can you actually stop this Thunder out from Yanton? He's taking almost no damage. A Roar, I don't know who he found. It looks like it's Tiny.
Roar in the
so
back on the
Yopaj
Tiny.
just soloed off once again. And Pakaz is going to come in, try and do what he can here on the Tide Hunter, but
Meta is back
Nullifier
up.
being reflected. It's finally going to be a dead Tide as it takes them a while, but they get the job done. And again, Meta's back up. All because of the Coddle. He's just been dumping the Chakra Magics into Yamsum to make sure the cooldown is as low as possible.
He's going straight to work on that bottom tower. The rest of his team finishing up mid. Buyback. Do you respect this if there's still no Tiny? Doesn't look like they are. Ice Blast not gonna connect.
What?
Now you certainly don't care. Get back in there.
Yeah, I mean, no Dead in the Water. Ice Blast thrown a little bit too early. Well, that is a 21,000 gold lead for Wildcard and amplify damage on the bottom side.
This is ridiculous. Meta is 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
One more chakra and it'll be pretty much be up at that point. So yeah, I mean, I was gonna think you should push harder there, but I guess you don't need to, right? When meta can just, it's essentially like a minute instead of 2 minutes because you have recall, you pop your ult, you keep like double chakra magic and recalling to the Terrorblade. I think they scouted out this amplified damage too.
Yeah, it's going on the Terrorblade for sure. At this
Yeah,
point,
model passed over.
you should definitely try to like crack high ground bottom or smoke in through mid and look for an opening. But Refresher now completed on RCY as well. So you're going to be dealing with 2 Roars.
I mean, he's almost level 25, man. If you took the cooldown talent,
Scanning.
I think you could roar, get double recalled and chakra magic, and then just roar again. You could have 3 roars in a fight.
Sign me up.
They're smoking. No, guys, you gotta let them get 25 first. We want 3 roars. Tide might show to push out this wave, thinking it's just illusions. Oh, he blinks in.
He's
go?
not the easy kill, but they still might try and force something out
You
of
see
him.
them in base, though, because Yamato is clearing waves.
The Will-O-Wisp. Ooh, that was so close for 4. It gets reflected. The BKB out from Yansun with the amplified damage. It's not enough to finish the job. Yopaj in some trouble, though. RCY will be forced to BKB. They do not get the kill they were looking for. 2 escaping on Slivers. If that Will-O-Wisp came out earlier, they get the tide.
They were just a little short on initiating as soon as he blinked in. And fortunately, he backed off right away, so his team was able to save him. If he hangs around just a second longer, he dies there.
He's just dead, I'm pretty sure. Oh,
Escape
yeah,
back does
another
nothing
roar.
to the nullifier.
It can't do anything. Yeah, he's going to buy back, try and do something here. You don't have Ravage, but it's going to be up to the Gyrocopter to try and carry this one. Avalanche toss holding RCY down. They will get the Beastmaster. Woo, that is 2,600 gold for RCY.
Okay, wait, if you're paying attention to his items, do you realize he just finished this
Has been killed.
refresher? There's no way he saved buyback for it, right? Do you?
Radiant's bottom barracks.
I think you push really hard here.
hard.
Try to take as
Hit
many
tower.
towers as you can.
Dire's middle tower.
I think you just get Roche, right? I feel like you need to
Oh,
get
yeah, Roche,
something,
Roche.
but
Radiant's middle tower. Has
I don't even know if they have the damage for it. They got to go back. Their base is being sieged. Someone has to go deal with this.
You should just be AA dealing with it, right? And then Gyro goes to Roche.
Yeah, there you go.
An overstep from Wildcard. They don't seem to be willing to contest this at all, or maybe they don't expect it. It's too late. It's going to fall by the time they see this. Speed. Go for the greatest steal ever. Ice Bat? Dude, Speed, do it!
Speed? He steals the refresher, at least. That's something. They're going to try and get aggressive here. Avalanche, or I'm sorry, the Blink Burrow Strike doing work. The Epicenter just deleting the rest of the team. Where did Shopify go? That's the Ags reveal from Fade. Yopaj goes in. Yamsun's got a BKB, just going to stand his ground. Hurricane Bikes gets out of the Ice Path, and Yamato with the cheese. It's not enough. Yamsun is too strong. Can they deal with the Sand King? Yopaj, Avalanche toss gets him. RCY, though, with the Nullifier, the Roar asunder from Yamsun. They get the kill. 3 dead on Shopify as they continue the chase, and there it is. GG, baby. It's game 5.
Speed, man. He scouts it at the last second with the Ice Path. Has a blink. Why does a Jakiro have a blink? For that moment right there. Let's see if RCY can beat out the puck mid a second time, since this usually does go puck's way.
For those of you who are just tuning in, you have missed one heck of a series, but we are now in game number 5 in this grand finals of Shopify versus Wildcard. And boy, oh boy, has Wildcard really picked up the pace here in these last 2 games, and they are going back to Fade 24th pick Legion Commander. They don't really have any saves on Shopify. If he finds Jakiro or Caudle, this will just be a free kills for the Legion Commander in the late game, and her Aghanim Scepter is quite good now.
That's true. It used to be such a grief when other people couldn't contribute in it. Removing that actually made this better, in my opinion. I still find it very interesting he took Spoils of War, though I think looking at it, some of the ideas that press the attack is actually so good versus Jakiro that you can get out of the lane without needing that extra barrier, and then you just go the outscaling path. Like, maybe Morphling doesn't outscale if your whole team picks up extra damage every duel.
Yeah, I am very curious to see how this one's going to play out. As we head on out to the lanes. I can't say I've really seen Pakaz play Centaur before, I'll be honest. This is just not one of the types of heroes that we see him usually on. So maybe putting him in a little bit of an uncomfortable position, but Pakaz is very skilled, so I'm not too worried for him.
Yeah, you do have to be careful of the magic burst up here, especially once you get hit by a couple illuminates. You're sitting at low health. You're going to be very careful of that hoof stomp double edge. Though sometimes we see teams, like if Hellscream wants to just focus on stacking and then playing around other heroes, we've seen people go retaliate.
He's going to get that D
Kind of like to see the attempt at the kills with a double edge. Down here we got some creep dragging. Took some
Nice little
tower
half pull,
shots.
too.
Yeah, they go for the half. I think that's a smart call, especially once they take some tower shots.
Yeah.
Alright, that lane should just be avoiding each other, so how are the other lanes looking? Mid. We usually see Storms take an early lead, and then as pucks get more levels, it starts to turn the other way. Maybe a support rotation can make a difference, especially with a hero like Tusk. Really doesn't need much. You can potentially show up a lot sooner than usual.
Yeah, I am curious if we're going to see any support movement into the mid lane, because I feel like if RCY ends up getting like this first power rune and doing some crazy stuff with it, then you might be in some trouble.
Speed is bopping people up here. Don't usually see Centaur, the one on the low health of the trades. They're actually going for the kill. They pop
He's
meta,
dead.
blood grenade.
That is
Brain
first blood
drain.
for Yamsun. Yeah, that is a very nice kill. You're trying to creep drag here on Hellscream, and I mean, yeah, technically you're dragging the wave, but off to a
Speed.
great start.
Speed's got no chill. He's coming here to contest. Though with the Centaur respawning,
He might-
you better be careful.
Might have needed to chill a little bit. No, okay, they want the wave.
No, he's got no chill. He's going back in.
Blood grenade down. Got him.
He's just going to be here to get the XP from these creeps. And then he'll walk on out of here. Bottom lane, mostly even in farm due to the creep dragging. Jakiro is not the greatest hero at stopping this because he's just a little bit too slow to actually chase you. Though when you do end up in the lane in situations like this, pretty good. Oh, the dual breath drew the aggro. It's good for Wildcard.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Wow, now the fact that he just gets the hard camp pulled as a result of that is kind of wild. So this lane going to be in a good spot here for Fade. Allowing the Tusk to kind of roam towards mid, maybe contest the 4-minute rune. Get a little stack on the way. But Jakiro knows something is up. Okay. Immediate sentry there to block the stack.
Bignum sees it. He's like, oh, I didn't hear no stack noise. Yamato waveformed in. I mean, he's morphing his strength. I think he's fine, especially as the dual breath comes out down here. A little scary. It does zone him away from these creeps.
I mean, so far, lanes are going well for Wildcard. Again, mid lane looking great for RCY, as he has got a little bit of a level advantage right now, and that level 6 timing. We'll see if he can get anything done with it, whether that be a gank to one of the side lanes or, you know, movement onto the puck if he gets some help top side or in the mid lane from one of his supports.
Centaur did end up going retaliate, and it looks like he wants the Vanguard, which should allow him to be pretty safe up here. Though for now, without those items, takes a beating, is going to live, but this could be some serious tower pressure coming in. Hellscream gonna blast the wave from the side, so maybe not too much tower pressure.
The catapult is on the way, though. Like, it's the next wave, so maybe if they really wanted, they could push with that, but instead, it looks like they're just more content farming, maybe looking for some harassment damage there, and, well, they're gonna look for Pakaz here once again. Never mind, they've got the damage on the tail end of the meta. More brain drain for speed.
Dude, speed is actually the true carry this game. He's gonna have brain drain and he's gonna get spoils of war, dual damage. He's gonna be actually right clicking.
Right, coil is out. They do zip in. The rune goes to RCY, but you will lose the tusk in the process. So a nice find there for Yopaj. Two may enter, one will leave. Fade versus Yamato. I think because he's extra creeped, he's getting a lot of Moment of Courage procs, and I think Fade pretty happy about the trade here, but to be honest, he has Lotus, so he can just, yeah, morph all the way back down and pop the Lotus.
Infinite regen hero.
Oh! That was close. Got to be careful of the overwhelming odds there.
Fade the one who's got to be careful.
Radiant are scanning.
Invisibility.
Another attempt onto Pakaz. Got the vision from the ward. You're not losing sight of this centaur. He's pretty
His silencer.
Oh, he's
He
dead.
got him.
Brain drain.
He has nothing. Top side, though, 2 blood grenades out. Yamsun just trying to dodge this one out. Speed maybe going to offer a little bit of assistance, but he will drop the coil, and they will take down the Terrorblade. So that is a nice find, but Storm Spirit is not too far, and Yopaj in really deep. He'll just be fine, though. Storm cannot make it that far.
They might look for speed, actually. He stuck around. Yopaj
Yeah, the
getting
coddle.
the chakra magic. Okay, they don't want
Storm
to
is
dive the
still here.
tower.
They're going to instead go for Pakaz. Yeah, Stomp comes out. Does he have Vortex? Nice pushback from the Coddle, though. He'll be okay. So far, Huck has been connecting way more on these early rotations. Mid lane, Skem denies an Arcane Rune. Big Gnome is going to try and keep it alive for him, but they will get the Jakiro in exchange. RCY, though, needs to be careful. Raindrop allowing him to stay alive.
I'm going to be careful of, because Speed lived through those earlier attempts, he's got global already. It's very early. So let's see. Maybe you heal up on Storm and you can go for a surprise kill. Maybe the duel, right? You're expected to be able to morph, but if you just global him... I think she needs help. I don't think she can solo morph where he's at right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See, Big Gnome scouts out the Puck, trying to make their way bottom.
Coin for me.
All right, right now, is that a mask coming out? It is. So the Morbid mask on the Morphling. He's not really in danger anymore, unless we get like a surprise gank in from something like the Storm Spirit. But he'll be able to 1v1 this lane here against Fade pretty much forever now.
Till he gets dueled a couple times with the global. They got to make it happen once to put the fear in him.
He has so much confidence on the Morphling. I mean, he's one of the best morphs around. Global, if you want to use it, they get the silence the first time. There's the globals, the follow-up. Great ice path, though, from Jakiro. Vortex to pull him back in. They get the kill. Yopaj is down. RCY out of mana. Does need to be a little bit careful. Chasing for anything else will pop the bottle, and the rune will spawn top. So he's going to get himself an illusion rune. That will help out quite a bit, actually, if they try to make a play on him.
Yeah, that one's really nice. Deal with the silence from the Puck. Or maybe you get really lucky on a coil snap. You can use it to get out of that. Take some shovels to dig water runes for RCY. Like, sorry, dude, I can't chakra magic you this game, but here's a water rune.
The chakra
Immediate
magic
smoke up. And I think that was just outside of the observer, so this might catch Shopify off guard. They're looking to get the first duel on the board.
I mean, it doesn't have to be on the morph. You just got to start getting these duels going, right? Take advantage of the spoils of war.
Yeah, gotta get speed scaling up, get him some extra damage. Yamato's really far up. This is happening.
They're not going to win the duel, but they will get a lot of damage and potentially a kill. Wave forms to the right, but he's got no mana left to play with. Pops the stick, but they get the kill. It goes the way of RCY. 4-hero commitment, but topside, Sunder, he gets it off here on the Yopaj, and Yamsun's still alive. Just going to throw a lot of damage back out into this puck. Speed's going to try and close the gap, gets a curse, but not fast enough. And guess what? They're looking for another kill bottom. They're not done. Jakiro shows up here to try and cut the wave, but the tag team and the damage is too much.
You don't get the dual kills, but you are getting galvanized stacks and brain drain stacks from these kills. And of course, Morphling is losing farming time. He's back. He knows, okay, they've used all their abilities. I should be safe for the moment. Comes defend the tower. But pretty good movements from Wildcard, especially keeping Terrorblade alive. If he had died, then maybe it's not fully worth it, but just winning on all fronts with that last minute. And now a regen rune top, which can Storm get to it?
Storm is under a ward and doesn't know about this. Now, Big Num with a beautiful ice shards gets him out of danger, but Puck thinking about chasing, he won't do it. Wow, that was a really sick escape. He still managed to clean up the full camp there as well on Storm, and they don't let the power rune go to Puck as well. So Wildcard still managing to do fairly well here in this early game.
Ooh, I like this. Okay, Legions. You usually see them go Blade Mail first. It lets you do more on your own, ups your farm speed. But this game, I really think he needs to be the one to surprise the opponent. The zip-in is just too much time for Puck and Morphling to react.
Yeah.
Blink Duel might still be enough time for them to react. But with the global, I think that pushes it over the edge for you to find these kills. Trying on Yamato, I mean, that's kind of the example right there, right? You got like Stampede, Morph, everything. Ooh, good snowball.
He dodged the coil. What a snowball. The global silence just bails him out. Okay, I mean, you expend global silence. You probably would like to avoid that, but a very good snowball there from the Tusk.
Okay, you get out. Some farming speed, farming time for Shopify, though. Catching up just a little bit in all of that. The blink, 700 away for this Legion. I think you're okay. You know, you make what plays you can, but I think you're mostly waiting for that. Jakiro always going to win these kind of ward fights. Can you get the first duel?
All right, nice snowball in. Big Num tries to set up a kill here onto the Jakiro. There's the duel. They're going to get the kill in time. They do. Winners all around for Wildcard. I mean, that is what 15 extra damage on top of the duel, right? 5 for each of the allies, so that's pretty good.
Want to defend mid. Or, oh, another coil misses. I should get speed.
Yeah, they will get speed indeed, but I feel like you're going to need to start getting more. Oh, okay, hold on. Yamato, he's just going to do it himself. Jumps in. 2 heroes in the arena. Very nice. All right.
To my own duel at home.
Active. Yeah, right.
I mean, we were saying Morphling typically favored in the late game versus the Terrorblade. It's not a complete stomp, but
yeah,
you can just copy the meta and then still be Morphling as well. Yo, Podge. Ooh, gotta be careful here.
There one, Pakaz or Yopaj, either or. Global comes out. He actually dodged it, but into the walrus punch, he gets melted. That tag team meta very quickly making work of the puck. Do we see them do anything else with this, or is it going to be a tower push? It looks like potentially just the top tower.
I actually would have loved for them to chase through the Twin Kit and get the Tormentor.
Yeah, it's so scary, though.
That's true. All come into a Macropyre ice path.
Yeah. Especially since the tier 1
Blink.
tower is still there.
Blink overwhelming odds from Legion. Go, go, Fade. Go, go, go.
Oh, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He gets 2 into a
This
duel.
duel is a little hopeful.
It's a little bold, but Fade gets a double kill.
Radiant's middle tower has
Oh, baby.
That's
And
pretty
they get
funny.
a second tower in mid.
Dude, if he was 2 seconds sooner, I think he also snipes Tormentor. That would have been
that
an
was
amazing
close.
play.
Maybe he was waiting. Like, he had to get the blink delivered, though. I don't know how long he had it. Yamada? Vortex.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
amplified
Amplify
damage? Okay. Now, are we just sweeping the map here? A third tower standing bottom, but not for long.
Dire are scanning.
Big Num on the hunt here. The Dire Scan connects, but will not find his opening.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Wow, that was so much damage into the morph there.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, can't out-morph and amplify damage.
Dire's
Yopaj running into
Dude.
RCY, who still has the amplify damage.
He's
Vortex
just
into the
Vortex. Yeah, the duel is there. They got him. Another Spoils of War. This one, level 2 duel. So Storm Spirit up to 15 bonus damage.
Wildcard playing really well. With that said, Shopify's finding space to farm because the gold is actually pretty even here, even though it's 5 to 13.
They're not done. Nice dispel there from the
That's
Legion
a lot
Commander.
of heal.
Yeah, it was a lot of healing. Yeah, they will not dive
Oh,
anymore.
Holy Locket first on Hellscream, so boosted heal plus he used it on the Centaur. No wonder why it was so much.
Okay, that makes sense. Shopify are still very close in net worth, right? So it's not like they're in a bad spot, but mid lane, potentially a bad spot. We'll see as they're looking for an opening here onto Yamsun. Power Rune. Spawns
Wow.
bottom. It's a haste. Goodbye.
It's hard to quantify the value of these brain drain and galvanized stacks and spoils of war. So I mean, Wildcard will definitely be happy getting those stacks going. But yeah, this gold lead being about even means that Shopify is certainly not out of it. This Morphling still needs probably another item or two, but could still reach the point where he can out-carry the Terrorblade.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, I don't know how Tomato does it. They're putting the pressure on him. They're trying, and yet I feel like we see him in this kind of situation all the time, and you're like, huh, still top net worth, buddy. Huh, how do you do that?
Yeah. He's always so good at finding farm. It's really hard to kill Pakaz now that he has the Crimson Guard as well. So you have... Ooh, almost found instead. Oh,
Fast duels.
nice duel. Big Num comes in though, looking for another duel. They got him. You can only dodge so many spells on this puck. They get the D ward as well. All right, Spoils of War is adding up, dude. That is the third duel victory.
Man, Speed was just a little... Silencer is such a slow hero, man. He was trying to get in there. He was like, please, count me in for Spoils of War. It's just a
Wow,
little
that's a
too
sick
slow.
TP.
Ooh, RCY also just a little off on catching Hellscream there. A lot of the team here.
Oh, Blink Walrus Punch into Global Silence. They're trying to burst the Morphling, but he got the Morph off in time, and now the Stampede out from Pakaz. Stolen Shards will put him down for now. Bottled up Arcane Rune for RCY. They will back away, maybe looking for Scam. They've got the damage in from this Terrorblade. They find the kill. Now the question is, can you look for more? Yamsun will TP out. They will cut their losses. A 2-for-1. Nice finds here from Shopify.
RCY did manage to secure that arcane rune. So as your teammates respawn, they might look for a follow-up fight. I believe Global... Oh, actually, no, Global's still a little bit away. 70 seconds. Okay, maybe wait BKB on the... Okay, forget that. Smoke up. That'll really catch him off guard. He pings on the Morphling.
He should be okay. You have Walrus Punch and stuff, but yeah, not in range.
Weird.
Plus, like your Storm and Legion are pretty far away. I don't think you want to force that.
All right, at this point, just finish up the BKB on Storm. Global will be up at that point. Multiple blinks on Wildcard, on the Tusk and the Legion. I think you need it, but it does mean if you can't continue to find fights, you know, maybe not the most efficient item. Like, this is the we gotta do stuff with the blink. So far, pretty successful, I'd say. But you gotta keep that momentum going.
See if they can connect off of this smoke here. Shopify. Did they finish like a big item? Is there something I'm unsure of?
I think
just a blink on Centaur. Yeah, that looks like it.
They've got the chain stun. You blink, stomp, ice path after, coil if you need it.
Wildcard will smoke themselves. Look for Hellscream here. Get the blinding light push back. So they know there's a coddle in there somewhere, but Fade is the one who would love the duel victory. His smoke pops. He's afraid to go to the high ground. They don't know what's up there. Storm not afraid, though. Looking for Hellscream. Pulls him in. Here comes the Terrorblade, but a nice ice pass to put a stomp to it. And there's the stomp. The duel comes out. Centaur with the Stampede. Can they actually keep him alive? The Global doing some work. And now the press the attack's going to bail them out. They're safe. Silencer slowing up Centaur to a crawl. Another duel victory. Goes the way of Wildcard. That seems to be all they want.
I think they would have loved to get more, but you had to commit pretty hard to get the coddle. Crimson Guard kept him alive for a bit, so feeling scared after that. I mean, you use so much mana to zip in that far and everything, so you just fall back, take the duel.
35 dual damage on Storm. What are we at on Legion? He's got to be like 70 or something, right?
That's exactly
yeah, 70 damage. Nice. I can do math.
Which is pretty impressive for a 23-minute game.
Yeah. Oh, he went greedy. I was like, why does he have -5? Oh, jump in. Stomp. Catches the Silencer. Speed gonna get dispelled for the moment. Storm looking for the backside. Duel comes in. Yopaj, can he keep him alive? He's gonna do his best. Great Crimson Guard doing some work. Hellscream, not dead yet. Tusk in trouble. Both supports down here on Wildcard, but can RCY do the heavy lifting? He's just gonna BKB and walk away. All right, nice showing here from Shopify, finding an opening. And the Crimson Guard protecting from that duel win.
Terrorblade didn't have meta available, so we couldn't actually attack any of the targets. I think that's part of the reason they decided, you know, let's just cut our losses. Next fight will have the meta, so it should go a bit better. And Global is up soon as well.
That will be Roche, though. Go in the way of Shopify. I mean, your Morphling has his own meta and those illusions for quite some time, so that helped weaken it. And now the Aegis will be in the hands of Yamato.
Both Yamato and Yamsun getting very scary. The Scotty already done on the Terrorblade, but at the same time, the Butterfly already done on the Morphling. So a lot of these fights are going to come down to which carry is allowed to attack. They will both do insane damage, but if they're the ones being targeted, they kind of focus on running. Well, maybe not Yamato anymore now that he's got the Aegis.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Fate is going to go for the Aghanim Scepter, which is kind of what we expected, right? The Ags duel, it just increases the duration, gives you Magic Beam, basically the BKB active during its duration. So hopefully locking heroes down long enough to secure the duel victories is the game plan there. This Morphling making quick work. There's the Blade Mill. They jump in. The burst damage. Can they find the kill? They do not. Yamato gets out. How is that possible? The evasion from the butterfly. The vortex actually might have backfired. The Blade Mill is what was killing him. Oh, jump in from Yopaj. Does find... mispresses coil completely. Just on the ground by mistake. So no coil now.
I think without the coil, you might cut your... There's not really losses. You just back off. I mean, you don't have to push harder. You still got 3 minutes on Aegis. And they already took the tier 3 really early in this game. I mean, that's just Morphling things. But yeah, I think you're right. That electric vortex actually preventing himself from doing more damage in the Blade Mail. Yamato's actually back. He knows how strong he is.
How many times have we seen him do stuff like this on his Morphling? He's like, yeah, I'm the strongest. I've got an Aegis. They cannot kill me. Storm trying to open up, find some heroes on the backside. Another Blink Duel with the Blade Mail. This time, no Vortex. Can it be enough to kill him? It's so close, but again, he will survive. The Snowball trying to bail them out, but Yamsun here will be forced to pop the meta, and, well, nobody dies.
You need the Scotty going, I think, at this point. You gotta hit Morphling with the Scotty if you want to kill him. Things are getting scary for Wildcard. It felt so in control for like 25 minutes, but suddenly one bad fight, Aegis goes to the Morphling. And we're at that point where it feels like Morphling is outscaling everybody. You thought you had enough dual damage to outscale the Morphling, but clearly not quite the case yet.
I mean, maybe when you get the Legion Ags, it actually could be enough, but I don't know how close we are to that.
Bottom Rex.
I mean, he should. Just go finish it off.
Third
right,
duel's the charm, as they say.
He's still got a minute 40 left on the Aegis. Storm Spirit trying to just farm out in the bottom lane, cut some waves. He'll TP back to base now. This is their last fortification. Very confident behind this Morphling. Vortex and some damage coming through, but the heals, once again, like you said, you need the Scotty to stop this. What is this healing? This is ridiculous. Blink, Walrus Punch comes in, but Yamato's just not losing health here thanks to the Keeper of the Light, and he's going to turn himself right into his own Terror Blade. Your base is now under a lot of problems. Vortex on through, but the whole lane is gone. Is Keeper of the Light just the best hero in Dota now? What has happened?
Pretty good. Pretty good hero. The tier 2 top saving Wildcard from being mega. But what a sudden turn of events. And I gotta say, Shopify has been really good about when they know they're strong, even if we don't see a 10, 20k lead, I don't know who makes the calls. I feel like it's probably Yamato. He's like, you know, I'm really strong. I don't think anyone can touch me right now. Let's just go. And it's how they've won a lot of their games versus Wildcard. We don't expect it to suddenly swing their way, but they just know when they're strong and they go, and they maximize this window when Yamato or whoever on their team is really strong.
I think that's the most effective use of an Aegis we've seen so far in these qualifiers. Like, very few teams have been able to, like, legitimately capitalize on their first Aegis. That was textbook. That was everything you could have wanted And they are set up top for the Tormentors. It comes through. The Dire
Actually,
trying
first Aegis.
desperately to find someone.
All right, Fade, get in there. You did it once before.
Right. Oh, smoke pops. They're gonna know exactly what's going on. RCY just says screw it. He's gonna go in, look for an opening, gets the BKB off. They've gotta find something. It's the Jakiro inside the
There's
duel,
so
but they're
much
healing. What is this? His health bar goes back to full. They will finally finish the job, but now Coils trap them in place. Yamsun's on the high ground, trying to do what damage he can here on the Terrorblade, but the Stampede will close the gap. Sunder is out. He cannot do it alone. The damage is too much from the Shopify team. Terrorblade hits the deck. 4 dead on Wildcard, and I need to look at the healing done numbers this game. Hellscream, I think, did like 5,000 healing in that fight. Maybe more.
All right, he's got the shard, so Illuminate is 100% heal, which a fully charged Illuminate is 500. He then also has the Holy Locket, which amplifies it by 25%, and then you can use the Holy Locket on someone for another big heal. So that's where a ton of these are coming in, and even though they had so many brain drains, so many spoils of war, it is not enough to get through the barriers and extra armor, and then on top of all that, insane amount of healing from Coddle. We usually see the recall be why this hero is so good, and the healing is kind of secondary, but this time when you're looking for duels, Spoils of War for the Morphling, as if he wasn't
Those melee
already enough
creeps.
of a problem.
Those creeps got 10 more damage on them.
Oh, shit!
They're gonna take down, but no, I'm just kidding. That's a full lane of Rex. That's the mega creeps. I don't know what you do. This is exactly how Shopify won both, like multiple games against Wildcard. They're like, get behind Yamato's hero, and we will just do anything we can to let him carry the game. And this is not an exception. He's got a BKB. He's just gonna start ripping through these towers. Coil catches 3 the waveform in. RCY gonna pop the BKB. They're not gonna be able to save the Terrorblade though. That's just it. The game is over. Shopify will be the team to represent North America at Dream League Season 26. A valiant effort by Wildcard. I
Very
gotta
well
say.
done.